Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros. Jonathan, Roto Run, Nez Daniel, Nez Takes, hanging out, Black and Yellow Dog app, platform of the people. Here, we're going to be breaking it all down. Definitive preview here. Maybe a slight little pep in my step today to get this thing going quickly because my boy Bryce Miller is going to be on the hill about halfway through this show, Nez.
Oh, baby. You got a big game here, man. You guys, you need this one. You need this one.
I mean, I'd still be confident coming home, and they'd probably have Scooball on a short rest and whatever. I think I'd probably be still confident in Kirby coming home for a game 5. But this is the one. This is the one you want. It's funny that the sky is falling for Jays fans right now after blowing the 6-0 lead yesterday, and yet they're in the exact same spot as the Mariners are, and yet Mariners fans are sky high right now. You know, like they're both up 2-1 in their series with a road game tonight, and the vibes are just so different between those two series, you know.
I know. Yeah, I'm rooting very, very hard for the Yankees. Rooting very hard for the Yankees.
See,
number of reasons, but good.
Okay. Let's walk this through now. Now that we're gonna have the convo here, because I wonder if your reasons are similar to my reasons here. I like the idea of best on best of Judge versus Cal Raleigh in a like championship series, like the MVP narrative, like 1v1. Then you keep the Yankees big market in, you go East Coast, West Coast. Like I kind of like that. And then selfishly, I don't love the notion of Blue Jays fans from Vancouver taking over the ballpark in Seattle and those home games not feeling like home games in a championship.
Yeah. That's some really good alpha. I forgot how like the entire country, which is endearing. The entire country embodies the Jays for that. So that's cool. Yeah, mine. So to be clear, mine is like multifaceted. One, financially, I have an investment in the Yankees. 2, though, I love the way that the Yankees, like I like the way the Mariners have gone about their business as well. But the Yankees, I just think, are like the pinnacle right now of like baseball franchises. Like the Dodgers are absolutely like not morally, they're morally bankrupt. I hate the way the Dodgers operate. They're the new Yankees. On just like a level that is like really difficult to comprehend. But the Yankees, they didn't absolutely cave in to the top end free agents of Soto and such. They're like, you know what? No, let these other, absolute pigs overpay for these guys. We'll take Judge, and then we'll just like develop the shit out of our players and make really smart, savvy signings in Fried and Goldschmidt and all these other ways. So I just really like the way that they do it. And it's just like, it's so unfair that they do have such a big payroll and are just so good at developing their players and also like smartly offloading the ones that suck to other teams. Like, I don't know, man. I just think the Yankees do it like in a very healthy way.
Okay. I mean, I definitely agree with your assessment that it's considerably different than what the watchful eye of a quasi fan would think it is. They think they're the evil empire, like just buying all their players. But when you lay it out in that fashion, it's quite intelligent what they've done. I would also add on the wrinkle that they had a really good trade deadline too. Like just going out and getting those bullpen arms, going out and getting Jose Caballero, who's like, basically fixed their Volpe problem at times. There has given them a platoon at third base with Ryan McMahon, who they also acquired at the deadline. Yeah, it's low-key hilarious that the team that was once regarded as like, hey, they're buying all their players is actually, in fact, not that.
No. And I mean, like the way that they're just doing it, I just think is like I love what they did with Trent Grisham. Like, we've long been like kind of fans of like Grisham, just like thinking that he was like a decent player. And then he goes to New York and then, here's a 30 home run season. Like, it's just like, they just find really good ways to maximize these guys. And I just have no choice but to tip my cap. The Dodgers, though, I wish for their demise. I have no sympathy, no no positive thoughts toward that franchise whatsoever. I can't stand them. Awful for the sport. Fully believe that. But Yankees.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, I think you can make the same argument you just made for the Yankees for all 4 remaining teams in the AL.
You can.
Because like the Blue Jays did it internally, then they gave the bag to Vladdy because they thought he was deserving of it because he was homegrown and whatever. So maybe that's a little bit of an outlier, but like almost everything with the Blue Jays is applaudable, I guess, that they've done over the last little bit here. Everything with the Mariners is primarily internally, and then when forced to spend money, they go and do stuff at the deadline, or Dipoto made those crazy trades for years and stuff like that. So I think you could say that about most of the stuff there. But when you're pitting Dodgers versus Yankees, I do reside in this narrative you've spun up for the Yankees here.
Thank you. To be fair, all of the AL teams have very good arguments to why they deserve success. I like when teams try. That's very good. And the Mariners have done a lot in that regard. The Tigers, I think, kind of smartly approached their deadline. I think they were way overperforming. But the M's, this is like the most the Mariners have really gone in on a team. They kind of did it like, softly, but still made an attempt years past. This year was, with Eugenio and Naylor signings or trades, which were awesome. They really, really went for it. So yeah, every team in the AL is morally good.
Love it. Yeah, dude, the trades for Eugenio and Naylor was something new in terms of they never traded for expiring contracts before. They always traded for, some retention of value in the future, or like, hey, we know Seattle isn't the market that a lot of guys want to stay, live, whatever in. So they would do stuff like, okay, a guy has like 2 more years left on this deal. Now we'll make a smart deal at the deadline. This was the first year which they were like, fuck it, we're in, boys. Let's go get those guys, right?
Yep. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Nez, let's move into some quick stuff to hit on from last night and then do a full 10-game breakdown of the main slate. We're dealing with some interesting stuff. I mean, Joe Flacco getting traded here. I threw a tweet this morning. I can't recall of a player who beat a team, so i.e. beating the Packers, and then getting traded, 3 weeks later, and then having the opportunity to beat the exact same team again. Like, has that ever happened? Like, I don't know. That was just a weird thought that came across my mind this morning.
I mean, especially when it's not in the same conference, right? Like,
right.
That's definitely like one of the weirdest things. And he can play the Ravens 3 times. Just a lot of really funny scenarios happening with Flacco, who just has really one of the funniest career arcs ever. Who knows if it'll work?
For our game specifically, guys, don't draft Joe Flacco unless you're going into it to draft wanting a swap. He got traded after the slate had been created. He is not viable to score points on our site. It's very similar to the CMC situation we had, 3 years ago, or the Brian Robinson situation we had early. That's the most memorable one we ever had because people were still drafting like CMC 101 or whatever, and he wasn't going to score points. So just a reminder that if the slate has been created and then a trade occurs after the fact, that player will then receive an out tag because he's wrongfully designated to a different team. And the original assumption of people drafting was that he was on a different team. So it's an unfair advantage to be drafting said player after. 10-game main slate here. Really fun 3-game slate that we're going to talk about tomorrow. I was also going to pitch to you because yesterday I went full live for everybody for the puck stuff because we were jamming at lock for the puck stuff there. I think tomorrow is going to be our first primetime Palooza of the year that's paywall. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I think it makes sense. We've got a lot of members. We deserve to reward them with some paywalled content. Yeah, especially because we've been crushing the pick'ems too, right? You gotta let them. You got to give us $5. You want to see that shit. So them's the rules.
Yeah, them's the rules going on now. That's 2 things I want to hit on before we start here. Last night's winners and whatnot. I was not in the main baseball slate because we had done that on I was streaming while it was filling kind of thing and didn't get in there. But we got in on the web gem there while I was streaming, and just a little shout out to Jordan H 415. We've seen him around for a long time. There, the Gale's up here, Bo Jax is up here, Sam Olson's up here twice, Vindy P, all the good stuff there. Yeah, it's just, usual suspects up here. And then the puck streets, man, you didn't even need Shelofs. I was drafting Shelofs on stream there. I was getting everybody jacked up about Shelofs this, Shelofs that. He gets a shutout in his first game. You didn't even need him to win because our guy Car Park does exactly what I said not enough people were going to do on stream, and that's scroll the F down to the second line without the stud. And that's exactly what he does. He goes Chicago, line 2, he gets it at less than 5%, 2, 3, and then he plays Makar as the stud, and then he didn't even need the nut goaltender because he played Natchez plus Makar and didn't play, McKinnon or Bedard alongside these guys like everybody in the field would funnel to. Fucking beautiful. Put on my Troll Coach sweater to celebrate for our guy Car Park.
This is just that's beautiful, man. 3 sub 5% drafted players is wild. That is
welcome
wild.
To puck, man. I tried to tell the people yesterday that puck and baseball, these are the two super scroll sports because of the way in which points are scored in a binary fashion where it's you get a goal or you don't get a goal, and those flip the slate in a big way. And nobody scrolls far enough in these. And even on stream there, Nez, I was scrolling around to like Shelovs. We get them at 15%. I drafted Shelovs twice on stream there. We get them at 15%. I went ahead and drafted, where's the other one here? Am I blind? Nazar as well. I had a Nazar team there, but I was a chalk donk who paired it with Connor Bedard there like that. My best team, 15, a 28, and a 5 on there. This is what you got to do to win out here in the streets of puck.
I mean, John, you really drafted Connor Bustard. I mean, that's like the only worst pick you could make is McDust. I mean, what are you doing? Shout out Shelos though. Shout out Shelos.
Yeah, man, Shelos, dude. Yeah, that's you and me fandom handshake agreement right there. I saw one more thing in the chat here that super cool to see. Just every single day we get someone rolling through and saying the masterclass is totally worth it. We've had so many winners, man. So fortunate to have BR winners come in and shout it out, have Dog Bowl champions shout it out. And then last night, out of the blue, my guy Hayden hits me up and he goes, yeah, man, can I take the masterclass? Can I get in there and see what it's all about? Just totally organically and on his own accord, and then throws together a really nice tweet for us and shared it there. So hat tip to Hayden. And just if you guys did not see, even Hayden is deep, knees deep in the masterclass right now. So just wanted to share that with the people. Very cool stuff. We have a free lesson going on right now for swaps right now. And methinks if you were playing the Primetime Palooza alongside us on Monday there, you're going to have some Slayton probably to swap off of here. So go take that one if you guys have not yet. I'll drop it in the chat for everyone.
Yeah, and then our guy Jets just took the plunge and enrolled in the class. So we'll see you in the lectures, big dog, and good luck. I hope you enjoy.
Damn right, man. Damn right. Love that. Yeah, Jets was talking about it yesterday on the stream, whether he was going to take the plunge or not, and I'm glad that he did. Nez, let's do it. Let's move over to the beautiful unabated interface here. Let's walk through the entirety of the slate. As I said off the top, we got 2 teams on bye this week. We got 2 Monday night games and an international game. So 5 games off of the slate there. 2 teams on bye this week. Minnesota after they played 2 international games, and the Texans after they just beat the brakes off of the Ravens this weekend and looked like they were getting it back together. 10-game main slate. First nugget, only 3 in the late window. So if you guys are just thinking about, swap potentials or afternoon sweats or how you're just going to lay out your day, for instance, there are only 3 games in the late window on this one. A lot is taking place in the early window with 7 games there. Nez, where are you at in your process? What are your macros on the slate right now?
Yeah, you know me, man, doing the Dog Bowl thing week after week. And this week is definitely like the most difficult time I've had drafting Dog Bowls at this point in the week. And it's not because I need the answers from, Leone or whoever. It's because I don't know what to do with these Q tags. There's 1,000,001 Q tags on this slate, and they are all extremely important to know the result of. And we'll get into some clarity that we've received on some of these guys, but ultimately it's a huge deal to know who's in and who's out for these guys, because their values, a lot of these guys, become horrible picks, and some of them, just become, okay, here's a swap for you. But yeah, that's really where I'm at, is there's Q tags all over the board, and kind of hit that home with the CD and Mike Evans thumbnails there.
Yeah, so that was kind of the thesis I was going for. We were going to talk about Q tags off the jump here, because this is truly a mid NFL season style of slate. Only 10 games, tons of ambiguity with the Q tags, that sort of deal. I put CD and Mike Evans on the cover in particular, not because I necessarily think they're going to play ball this week, though I do think they are trending closer than maybe other people perceive them to be trending. I put them on there because are they the most important people in the world right now, Nez, to just do the hashtag stay on the clock right now? Because we saw a slate last week, and I'm not saying there's 1-for-1 replacement here with Sterling Shepard to Mike Evans, or 1-for-1 replacement of Ryan Flournoy to CD Lamb or some shit like this, right? But we saw last week that the biggest benefactors of the Q tag stuff, especially in the dog bowl streets, were the Rico Dowdle and Rashad White early in the wheat and or swaps. Is there value in just aping some of these Q tags, particularly in the 12 persons, to give yourself exposure to swaps when we have more information on Sunday morning?
I mean, it's definitely an advantage to give yourself more time to make decisions on who you want to swap to, but it does require obviously a lot of effort if you are saving draft boards, knowing who you have the opportunity to swap to. There's also a chance, like, okay, like the guy you would prefer to swap to gets drafted, so it's like, oh shit, like now I don't have the swap that I want to. So I lean both these guys don't play.
Yeah.
So it's basically just kind of like taking up a free square for you. I don't think either of these guys play, but time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Also, some other ones in the chat here are being brought up. Jake Ferguson is the highest ranked ADP in terms of Q tag there. But I just kind of layered them all out for people here. George Kittle as tight end 11, whether he's ready to return yet. Kyler Murray has a bit of a foot thing. Bucky Irving, we don't think is going to go here. Brock Bowers, I mean, I don't know if you want to click it, even if he is pushing the boundaries and playing this week, just given the way that Geno's played and his own and his coach's comments on his current health status. Lamar with the Q tag is going to be a big decision there. We see it in the chat here. Some people saying that he did not practice today. Adam saying he's not playing there. Yeah, one thing I did see with Baltimore is they do have a bye week in week 7. So if he does sit out this week, he gets the added bonus of the bye week. But that team needs wins, man. They're in a bad way right now amongst the division, and Rams aren't necessarily the spot of all spots to get one, but it's just interesting that they could push him through the bye week, and then he would effectively get 3 weeks rest instead of just like the one that he's had right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine he plays. It's a hamstring, bye week next week. Yeah, they do need wins for sure. Still favored to win the AFC North, despite the fact that there's probably another loss coming their way. So I don't know what that's about, but dude, it's neither here nor there.
If they lose the Rams this week, they're 1-5, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Holy shit! Wow.
Yeah, still favored despite all of this. Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know, man. Go Steelers.
Despite all this, Lamar in the 6th of Dog Bowl seems like a slam dunk risk worth taking still.
I guess. He's not going to play. He's not playing. I mean, I can't say for certainty, obviously, Nobody can truly, but he's not playing.
Yeah.
I guess like it's like the reward is you're swapping. So
Right.
there's better depending on who's available, at that pick. There's better ways to play that game.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, a lot of Snoop talk in the chat right now. Do we think it would be the Pro Bowler that people forget was a Pro Bowler that would be vaulting into there after Cooper Rush's performance last week?
I mean, my cynical take is does it matter? You know, like it's
Right.
ass either way, dude. It's shit. It's shit or poop.
Mhm.
Butter ass. What do you want? You know, it don't matter.
Interesting one from Easy here. Do you feel similarly to this that you're less into QB and even tight end Q tag swaps purely because you're likely to not get into good stack or good correlation spots with them?
In Dog Bowl, I fully agree. Fully
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
Do not like taking Kittle. I've done it a couple times, just because, like, you know, I just wanted to have a couple 6-round Kittle shares, just a couple. But I don't like it. I don't think it's good because I agree. I would rather take because like there's still tight ends that go after you most of the time when you are taking Kittle. So now your swap options get worse and worse, and you're just like now left with a really shitty tight end on a slate where we have some really high projecting tight ends. So
Okay.
you probably want to go to battle with a decent tight end or as decent as possible, and you're kind of hamstringing yourself, you know, no pun intended, by not allowing an opportunity to take the best tight end on the board whenever you're on the clock. Kittle doesn't seem like he's going to play.
Okay.
Schefter called him a long shot, and if Schefter's calling him a long shot, I'm going to assume he's a long shot.
Okay.
That would look pretty poorly on Adam Schefter, who cares a lot about getting things right.
Yeah, they don't have a bye for a long time either, like till week 14. So, yeah, Atlanta next week, Houston the week after, the Giants the week after that, 3 of the next 4 on the road. Yeah, interesting stuff.
They're 4-1 too, so a little bit of leeway.
Yeah. One kind of exception that I was thinking through in my mind to the rule in which Easy's laying out here for us, I think would be the Purdy to Mac Jones. Because that, you know, Mac Jones has been playing some good ball. If you take the swing on Purdy and he can't go, you're 1-for-1 right there is still correlated.
Yeah, I fully agree. That's kind of where I was going with, like, if you're up in the 12th, if you're up in the 6th round in dog bowls and you have Lamar or Purdy available, it's Purdy every single time. Every single time it's Brock Purdy for me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
this is an
easy swap to Mac Jones.
Yeah, can't draft Mac Jones, John.
Well, please don't draft Mac Jones because
Yeah,
I want to swap him.
Tungus versus a Bucks defense that just surrendered 4 passing touchdowns, 2 to the tight end opposing there. Yeah, we're going to talk about this when we go game by game, but Bucks definitely looking like a every bit of the pass funnel that we thought, and they're one of the best against the ground. So yeah, we kind of want to attack that pass funnel narrative for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Nez, let's do it. Let's go game by game. First game on the slate here, Arizona Cardinals traveling to the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts should be 5-0 if A.D. Mitchell just held on to the football and or didn't play that football game at all. They'd probably be way better off. But man, the Colts probably the biggest surprise from like the layman terms of talking about football in football circles to start the season here. Even Anthony Richardson got in on the fun last week there. This is a 46.5 here, 7 by way of the Colts at home. Jonathan Taylor, just one of the best roles in all football right now. You got Michael Carter on the other side, a little bit of an emergence there. The Kyler, no ceiling, even though the S-words loved him last week. And I was in on that Kyler stacking stuff. And then Nez was right. He just still has no effing ceiling. Guy never scores more than 20 fantasy points, even when we think he's going to run. And he did run and score a rushing touchdown, and he still doesn't fucking matter. I don't know what to do with Kyler anymore. Kind of encouraged with what Marv Harrison's been doing by way of the box scores, but the usage doesn't necessarily support that. And then on the Colts side, I mean, like Tyler Warren, I mean, he's, as you said earlier this year, man, this is the tight end bowl here of him and McBride versus Warren here, where you said he'd be pushing for tight end 1 this season after week 1, and it looks every bit the case there now.
Yeah, dude, Warren is insane. Tyler Warren's insane. McBride, I think McBride has a Kyler problem. I mean, he just should be so much better. But like, God, man, I can't. Kyler, I just don't. Yeah. Anyways,
If you took, I got it, Nez. I got it for you now. You ready for this? If you took Kyler between the 20s and we were like, Kyler Murray's our quarterback, and then all of a sudden you got to the red zone and you were like, now Bryce Young's our quarterback. That if those two could merge fucking skill sets like this, and we could make a super quarterback in a Dave Canales offense with Kyler between the 20s and then Bryce Young in the red zone.
Wow. I mean, that's it. That's literally it. Somebody needs to put on their goddamn big brain hat and make this happen, because that's literally all you need. That's a Super Bowl team right there. That was great. Yeah. Nobody's more lethal than my guy Bryce Young in the red zone. Been saying it for years, and God, did he put a dime on Leggett. Anyways, 7-point favorites here are the Colts. 2 underrated defenses going at it here. So this total is a smidgen high, but obviously everybody expects the Colts to kick some ass here, as do I. I have trouble thinking the Cardinals are going to be able to do much here.
Okay.
Yeah, how do the Cardinals beat the Colts here? Like, is it, defensively, a defensive shutdown? They were the first team to really throw Daniel Jones off his assignments, and they're the first team to shut down Jonathan Taylor. I mean, how does that sound? That doesn't sound likely. So yeah, I'm not really feeling it necessarily, because you kind of beat the Colts through the air more or less. I mean, it's hard to beat them through the ground. They've got some interesting ground defensive statistics, but at any rate, man, yeah, this is an interesting one. I think for 6 mans, it's like Warren, McBride, JT, and then like Marv is a decent scroll.
Okay.
And Michael Carter had a good role, but like I don't know what he can do in this spot necessarily.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I will say one thing about Michael Carter. If we do get Jacoby Brissett instead of Kyler Murray, like maybe that looks good on paper because they're going to run more. But Jacoby Brissett is renowned for those like 1-yard runs and those QB sneaks at the goal line. And like that was like his bag. Teams brought him in to just be that guy for them sometimes. Like he was the tush pusher before the tush push was a thing. And that does not bode well for your goal line scoring equity with Michael Carter this week. Nice things you could say is DeMarcado probably gets punished for him doing his best A.D. Mitchell impersonation at the goal line, which would have won them that football game. Drops the football, they don't score the touchdown. He gets yelled at on the sidelines there by Jonathan Gannon and yada yada. Now he's fined and everybody knows the story kind of thing. Bam Knight did get a red zone opportunity as well there. So yeah, I mean, a little bit of a split backfield, but if you want to take some of that DeMarcado like work away due to some punishment for his behavior on the field last week, maybe Michael Carter's role looks even better, but it's super thin for sure.
Yeah, it seems very thin, especially when they're touchdown dogs on the road. So
yeah, RB22 on the slate there.
Yeah, he goes pretty early decently early in dog bowls. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
They're calling Kyler day to day, so for whatever it's worth.
Okay. Yeah. Also, Kyler narrative is Call of Duty releasing the beta soon here, so he's gonna get back on the Xbox machine.
Dude, I'm about to just like slander Kyler. Like this is just full libel, so please don't sue me. I don't think this dude watches film. I just don't. I just don't think there's any care in the world out of Kyler. He just kind of shows up and just like, I'll figure it out.
Did you see the graphic? Sorry, whoever posted it in the Discord yesterday, and I was just scrolling around. Who posted the graphic in there that listed all the quarterback coaches and all the quarterback academies that starting quarterbacks in the NFL are training with in the offseason. And everyone was laid out. And then it just says Kyler Murray, and there's nothing affiliated with him, like literally implying that he just doesn't practice in the offseason.
Dude, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Hilarious.
You can just... I'm saying, man, this dude does not care at all.
Here's a very interesting one from Easy. He's saying there's a big drop off in the blocking role from Connor to Carter and from Elijah Higgins as well. The Cards lost their best blocking tight end. So this could mean that Trey McBride, aka Trey McGronk, becomes Trey McKittle this week and plays more in line and is utilized more as a blocker. So some interesting hand in the dirt ball knowledge from our guy Easy there.
All right. I like that.
Right on. Nez, let's move on here. Rams looked pretty solid on primetime despite Kyren Williams fumbling away the game there. He had 2 receiving touchdowns prior to that. Stafford continues to show a ceiling. Ravens look like the worst team versus in terms of EPA versus opposing rushing offenses right now. They're 32nd in all football for EPA per rush. So they've been getting gashed, and they're a bit of a pass funnel too. They've been getting gashed through the air as well. We saw the Texans just hammer it down their throats last time out and hang, 48 or something on them last week. This Ravens team is completely depleted here. I don't know. Let's start with the Rams side first. All the pieces are going very high. It's super concentrated, and they all have high ADPs. I think we could just say rightfully so. And if you wanted to play, hey, one Rams player in every lineup, the way people were playing one Lions player in every lineup last week, I wouldn't fault you. There's definitely some unique combos you can get to it as well. I think Stafford's ADP is too high, but I mean, he's shown us ceiling in back-to-back weeks and now gets what we perceive a plus-plus matchup. But keep your eyes on the Ravens practice report for what their defense is going to look like going into this week. And then everything on the Baltimore side hinges upon Lamar's availability.
Yep. Yeah. This is, I fully agree with the spread here of the Rams. I mean, we continue to say like Stafford, no ceiling, whatever. This is like the 4th straight week where Stafford has the highest pass yards in the pick'em lobby. Like, it's time to just like rethink what we thought about Matthew Stafford because they are just slinging it. And I mean, it's like not even close. Justin Herbert, I think, is the closest one. He's 20 yards behind Stafford in terms of like Stafford is projected for 265 pass yards against the Ravens, 0.75x to throw more than 1 touchdown. So that alone, I mean, that's getting you in like really strong territory in terms of a floor. Now you want to stack it, and you know who's the best to stack it with. I'm not entirely sure, but maybe the guy that's projected for 100 pass yards median this week. I don't know.
Funny. That's crazy, man.
So yeah, I think you just like ride these Rams, and even like if they get Kyle Hamilton back in Baltimore, who's obviously like a huge piece for them, like I just think you can still confidently play every piece of these Rams.
Okay. Sounds good. Will you be APing the Kyren stuff just given the matchup and everything I cited earlier about the EPA stuff? I know Kyren has a fumbling problem in recent memory, but they still love him and they still just keep feeding him the ball. Blake Corum played poorly on an island game there. He had a fumble and a couple drops of his own there. Do you just trust that they're just going to keep feeding him and he's going to find 22 times touching the ball in a plus matchup? Let's just play it and see what happens.
I think you do, just because the matchup is so solid against the Ravens. Like this like screams Kyren game. McVay doesn't care at all about the fumbles, clearly, because he's shown literally no urgency at all to bench him. I mean, they bench Corum for the entire game. Absolutely no rest for our guy Kyren here. So yeah, let's go. Like to me, it's just insane, the love affair that exists for Kyren. So yeah, and I'm trying to like check this out right now, but like my my stats are wonky here. Does Kyron Williams have a rush touchdown this year? He has one. He has one. He got one week 1, and he has not had one in the last 4 weeks. Ran super hot last week in the pass game against the Niners. So I don't know what the ceiling is for Kyron, but it's a decent floor. I just think that the ceiling is probably limited here, but yeah, they might be overthinking it.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. This is cool. On pace for 5K yards. Stafford, we've talked about him as the wide receiver maker for years, and we've talked about all those receivers that have been WR1s alongside him. Obviously, Puka's role is tracking to be like one of the best ever, which could go in tandem with like the Cooper Kupp season that he had with Stafford as being like one of the best ever. I do think, just from like a bro science and ball watching kind of angle here, I do think Devontae Adams pairs so much better with Puka than Kupp paired with Puka. Does that make sense?
Say that one more time.
Don't worry about it. Just as like a red zone presence for like Adams pairs so much better with Puka than Kupp previously did, even though they might be, comparable talents or whatever. But like, I don't know, just the downfield, the way he can win at the X position, doesn't really ever have to move into the slot unless you want him to. Like, Adams is just like the perfect marriage between what Puka does great and what Adams brings to an offense.
Yeah, I agree. Their skill sets synergize much better than Prime Kupp and Puka.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's kind of how I feel when I'm watching, right? Okay, let's move on here, man. Divisional game here with the Browns and the Steelers. Browns turn to Dylan Gabriel, who, oh my God, dude, did you see shaking hands after the game, Carson Wentz beside Dylan Gabriel? Like, it was Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram meme. I knew Dylan Gabriel was small. I know that he's listed as 6 feet everywhere. Dude is fucking tiny, man. Like, he is so small. I can't get that image out of my head there. Dude, nothing really happening with the Browns here outside of the tight ends and Judkins. Both of them performed in a really solid way. Both found the end zone last time out there across the pond against the Vikings. And then Judkins, I'm waving the white flag on my virtue signaling that took place at the beginning of the season there. He looks like a dog out there, man. Like, he looks explosive. He looks like they made the right running back selection in the draft there, off-field stuff aside, just from its sheer talent standpoint. He looks like a full-fledged bell cow right now. And then your Steelers, man. Jalen Warren popped up on the injury report after traveling, didn't play. Kenny Gainwell played really well, finds the end zone twice there. I think he handled 22-ish carries, 90-something yards there, looked good. Aaron Rodgers kind of lacks stealing in terms of playing him, but you can play DK any week. You can play one of the running backs. Let's have a conversation about just viable guys here for you.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely struggling because I think the Steelers defense is getting better. And I think they've improved vastly just over this like short period of time. Like, the fact that they held Jordan Mason to the yardage total that he had, I think was huge. Now, granted, the offensive line for the Vikings is like non-existent right now, but
sure,
that was good to see. Just in general, man, the rush defense just looks like vastly improved from week 1. In terms of, rush EPA allowed, they're second in the league. They're 5th in success rate allowed for rushing. That is like, rushing against. So for me, I'm just like, man, how is this going to work for Judkins, who is like, by all accounts, a stud? He's a beast. He's extremely good. But like, how is that going to work here when like all you got to do is just like, and I know this is not a new game plan, but like all you got to do is crowd the box. Like, he's their game. That's the only thing that they can do is like hand off to Judkins or like play action pass. In Pittsburgh, I just really struggle to see Judkins having success here. I'm fading Judkins big time here. The team total for the Browns is what, like 17, something like that. I mean, like, yeah,
unabated line.
Yeah, I'm fading Judkins here.
Okay, unabated line 38.5 and 5.5 by way of the Steelers there at home. This is a classic, just AFC North slop it up fest on paper right now. It starts raining mid-game for no reason. You look up at halftime, it's 13-3. Like it just feels like that anecdotally, right?
It does, and I'm really trying to like stay neutral here, but like that's just I think I would feel this way no matter what the matchup was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think just all by all accounts here, I think this is one that I'm not thinking it's a good. I just think it's a pretty low ceiling for Judkins personally, but
Okay.
we'll see. Could be way wrong.
I mean, the nice thing is we could apply the Tony Pollard narrative to him, where hey, he's going to get all the usage to himself. Like they're not seeming to use anybody else. So I guess that's the nice thing we can say. And he's looked explosive, right?
Yeah, I mean he looks fantastic, man.
Yeah. Any love for playing any of the pass catchers? I mean, we could definitely do the whack-a-mole at the tight end position. I thought Njoku looked great in the last game. I know Fannin scored one of the touchdowns there, and they have some creative usage for him. But if they continue to use the both of them out there, Isaiah Bond had a red zone opportunity. I have no idea. Jerry Jeudy just kind of fallen back to earth after not playing games with Jameis and with Tillman being on the field there. Tillman off the field now, but still nothing from Jeudy yet. Yeah, anything else? Browns passing game?
No.
Okay, sounds good.
No, not for me.
Yeah.
Just Fannin and Njoku and dog bowls when you have to.
Yeah. Browns just need a third tight end to put out there, and they'll be fine.
Yep.
Love that. Hohams with some ball knowledge here. Derek Harmon, evergreen from the Steelers, taking a good defensive draft pick here. Just seeming to matter on that D line there. Some ball knowledge. Go check out Hoham streams out there. 13-3 at halftime would be a shootout for this game. That's so good. Upset of the week. Browns come in with the win, according to GAB Sports there. Okay. I see it working. Let's talk about the Steelers, man. I think everybody's going to have the same takeaway here, that they were trying to mix Gainwell into this backfield early, and we were kind of caught off guard by that. And then all of a sudden he gets it to himself, and he plays so well that now coming out of the bye, I don't know if I want to play Jaylen Warren this week, because I think it's going to be more of a 60-40, maybe a 70-30 here, because Gainwell has now proven that he deserved what Arthur Smith was already giving him. Thoughts on that dynamic?
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Going to have to probably wait and see. I think Jaylen Warren is an excellent pick because if he doesn't play, like you can swap to Gainwell. And if he does play, I still think that he's the RB1. I don't think all of a sudden he's going to lose that starting job. But
sure, yeah.
Gainwell looked awesome, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, like 2 touchdowns, almost 100 yards on the ground against the Vikings. It's tough. I don't think either of these guys are totally draftable in 6-person drafts, but in dog bowls, I'm taking some Warren for sure, because like Gainwell goes undrafted. So if Warren doesn't play, that's like a nutted swap.
Yeah, that's a good free swap dynamic there. I mean, I don't know that I want either of them going against the second best rush defense in football relative to EPA allowed per rush. It's literally the Bucs, the Browns, and then the Lions that have been most efficient at stopping the run this season. And they've faced some decent running backs, man. Like they've had to deal with some talent too. So that defensive front of the Browns, this just looks like an absolute slog, clock turning affair that I just kind of, maybe I can pick off a touchdown from Metcalf, or maybe I can pick off a touchdown from one of the Browns tight ends. But outside of that, I just don't really want much of this game.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy fade.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's move on here. We got Jags and Seahawks here. This is a 47.5. Jags are 1-point favorites at home. Jags are 4-1 after that big primetime win against Mahomes, despite the fumble at the goal line there. We could have seen 3 rushing touchdowns from Trevor Lawrence there. Nice to see Brian Thomas, put together a usable box score. Still didn't find the end zone, but at least 10 fantasy points there and some nice deep downfield targets. I've seen smarter people than me talking about how they want the Jags to start stretching the field a bit more with their pass game, because it's been very underneath and very bunched up and tight to the line of scrimmage, despite them, having some success here. They think they could air it out a little bit more. Nice to see Travis Hunter get involved in some regard there. He was leading the team prior to the last drive of the game, where Brian Thomas Jr. had that 41-yard reception or something that got us the JBB pick'em home in the lobbies there. He was leading the team in receiving despite, playing in limited snaps. So just shows you kind of what Travis Hunter's capable of when afforded the opportunity. Seahawks, man, we were Seahawks D respectors. We were like, this team's pretty good. They're going to get some, depth in the secondary back. Witherspoon still didn't play last time out. And then Baker just went wild all over them, and they played a shootout 38-35. I think a lot of people are going to get excited to play this as the same narrative as last week, to play similarly this week, because we just saw the Jags look good. We just saw the Seahawks look good. Everybody's coming around on Sam Darnold. Everyone's coming around on JSN being like Puka light in terms of like top end of draft boards here. I think people are going to really want to ape into this one. How are you feeling, Nez?
Yeah, I don't feel the same. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I think a lot of people are going to think that just because it's just pattern matching. Like last week, what happened in their matchups, and they're like, oh, okay, well, that'll happen here. I don't think so, man. I think that the Jags were extremely fortunate to put the points up that they did against the Chiefs. And the Seahawks were facing an extremely vulnerable pass defense. And that's not the case with the Jags, man. It's like damn near the exact opposite. The Jags are one of the best defenses against the pass right now. So I don't necessarily think the game plan is going to be the same for the Seahawks here. I think they're going to try to establish the run again, like they have wanted to do for every other game this year. That changes if the Jags end up having an efficient offense. And like, let me tell you, man, I don't have a lot of faith in the Jaguars establishing an efficient offense here.
Okay.
I just have no faith in my heart in Trevor Lawrence actually like making things happen in this game. 27 fantasy points though, John, that's pretty cool. 2 rushing touchdowns will certainly help.
Yeah.
Certainly helps.
A third knocked out at the goal line though too. So, I mean, there's huge variance in rushing touchdowns for sure, but he has shown a little prowess in wanting to run this year, which is not something we've seen recently.
I guess so. I still think he's pretty bad. And the one thing that you can not do is run. So they're going to try to pass against the Seahawks here. I mean, I don't want to like dunk on you, brother, but like in the last 4 games, Trevor Lawrence rush yards, 12, 4, 6, 7. Like, right. And then all of a sudden 54 and 2. Like,
yeah, it's an outlier. It's a huge outlier. Yeah.
So he needs to do that if he wants to be good. Fantasy points scored this season, John, for Trevor Lawrence. 21 against the Bengals. It's the Bengals. 11, 8, 11 in 3 other games. Like he's bad for fantasy. He stinks in real life. I just think that this game goes under 47.5. I'm absolutely shocked that that's what the total is. Yeah. So like, I don't see this game being nearly as exciting here. But they are going to have to pass, I think. I don't think they're going to be able to run against the Seahawks. So we could see fantasy points, even though like you can hear it in my heart. I don't want it. I'm just, I'm on the anti-Trevor train, man. I just don't think he's very good. So there's, I could be eating my words here because I think the Jags, if they win this game, it's, either the defense shuts down Sam Darnold and or Trevor Lawrence does have success in the air, because I don't think you can run the ball on the Seahawks.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good, man. Just looking up some of the ADPs, the Jaguars side is fully free. It's fully free right now. So not echoing the sentiments of the game total or what I thought the field would kind of like want to be playing a little bit, like believe it now that they've seen it kind of thing. So yeah, we will see there. Absolutely. Let's talk about the Seahawks side for a second there. Ken Walker, by every single metric, has looked the better of the 2 running backs, including my bro science eye test, who watches a lot of Seahawks ball here. Everything in the outside zone, everything, the explosive rates, the success rates, everything metric-wise favors Ken Walker thus far, yet they keep bringing in Sharbs at the goal line. And they did it most recently there where Ken Walker in the first half of last game, he breaks off like a 35-yarder. He gets them down there, immediately subbed out when they're like in the green zone where it was like 10 yards out, maybe 11 yards out, and maybe not even quite 8 yards out, let's say. And then Zach Charbonnet runs that one in. So I don't know, man. It's hard to play whack-a-mole between these two backs. I think you just have like you have a top 10 back if one of them misses a given week, and then when the weeks that they both play, you have two top 25 backs, but neither has the ability to crack kind of like the top 12 unless it's Ken Walker breaks off a huge one kind of deal.
Yeah, they're both really, really tough. Excuse me, really, really tough to use right now. But I think if you're drafting, it's obviously Walker. Charbs is like touchdown or bust, and like when he does score the touchdown, it's like, cool, here's your 10 points or whatever. Right. The biggest problem for these guys is like neither of them get used in the pass game at all. Like Darnold, they are just not a part of this passing offense whatsoever. It probably is in large part because they really don't have a strong pass rate. But when they did have a pass rate, Darnold was looking downfield quite a bit. So yeah, that's like an element of their game that they could really use, but they're missing. I like the spot for Ken Walker a lot. I think he's a pretty sick scroll. Really nice kind of emergency RB in dog bowls right now. In BRs, he's ADP 34.9. So like really, really low owned here. I just think this is one way where they can really beat up the Jags, man, because like I just can't stand that this Jags team is good. And like they got a good defense, but they're vulnerable on the ground, man, and they want to run. So I think the way that this happens for Ken Walker is like Seattle defense takes care of business. The Jags can't move the ball, and then it's like we can run the ball on you because that's where you're vulnerable, and that's how we want to play. So this is like an exact opposite kind of feeling I had on Sam Darnold. Like I love Sam Darnold. I think he's extremely good. I just don't think that they're going to pass a lot here. So he's just not a guy that I'm getting to. Love Ken Walker though.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I keep an eye on the health of Seahawks offensive line too as well. They've been banged up, off and on for the majority of the season here. And as Nez is saying, that Jags pass rush is no joke. Like Sam Darnold could be under pressure here, which means ball out quickly and or establishing it, as Nez is saying. Would you rather ETN or Walker as a scroll this week?
It's a good question. I think Walker for the ceiling, but ETN has a really good role.
Okay. The other one I was thinking about here is scrolling to Hunter Long. Obviously, Brenton Strange moved to IR there with a weird non-contact hip or something. Like, don't want to see that. That one sucks. But Hunter Long, who has found the end zone 2 more times this season than Brian Thomas Jr. has. So, I don't know. Hunter Long as a scroll or AJ Barner as a scroll. Who would you prefer there?
I think Barner.
Yeah. The role looks pretty real, man.
Yeah, I'm capitulating.
Yeah. I mean, some of that. I mean, Arroyo's still out there running some routes and stuff, and they do run some 2 tight end sets and whatnot. But this Barner utilization report score of 57 is quite intriguing, man. 29% red zone targets. He scores twice. I think that was his second and third touchdowns of the season there. This is kind of a fun one, man. I mean, we saw it last year in the showdown slates, and then they showed confidence in it by moving off of Noah Fant and not paying Noah Fant this season. So they clearly trust the kid. Yeah,
they absolutely do. So I'm like I said, man, I'm going to capitulate on this one. And he's an interesting scroll. Hunter Long is interesting too. Don't get me wrong, but I think I prefer Barner.
Let's move on here. Fins up in Miami here, 43 by the unabated total there. 4-point road favorites for the Chargers, who just keep getting decimated by injury. We thought we were going to get a game of the week, shootout of the week kind of environment against Washington last week. We did not. We saw Ladd McConkey kind of get, a little schemed up, gifted touchdown on the first drive there to get him back in there. We also saw him make an electric play on a punt return that just showed off his dynamic running ability and his skill set. but it was unfortunately called back on a penalty. He would have had a way nicer box score if we got that there. But the Chargers only score 10 points versus Washington. They have a completely decimated offensive line here. We've been talking about it over and over again, and then they suffer some more injuries there. They have a good defense, man. They got a good defense with a secondary in which we respect. And we don't really know which pass catchers to play alongside on a given week. Justin Herbert right now, like we just, it's third and Keenan. It's sometimes squeaky wheel lad. It's sometimes QJ breaks the slate and has the best utilization score, and that's sticky. So I don't know. Let's talk about the Chargers side first, and then I guess we can get into the backfield after with No Hampton.
Yeah, this definitely is one where my initial thought was like, oh yeah, we gotta hammer the Chargers pass game here. Take Herbert, stack them up, and print. But this total is pretty damn low, and I am. Yeah, I'm like thinking twice about it, but like they don't even have a starting running back. It's Vidal and Hassan Haskins. So like, I don't know how it's not just the Herbert show here. You don't even necessarily have to stack him because he has 3 really good pass catchers.
Yep.
And he's running a lot. So like, I really like Herbert, man. I'm probably going back to the well, even though it's been like 4 weeks. Besides week 1, he has not had a good fantasy score, a usable fantasy score. But I can't help him, man. I think I'm going back to it.
Yeah, continues to run a little bit. He's giving you just kind of like mean projection over the last like 4 weeks here outside of that outlier game that you were talking about there. You basically need him to throw for multiple touchdowns and run for 30 yards is basically the combination in which we need. It's a little expensive this week that it's QB2, but I get it, man. We've talked about this Miami Dolphins secondary just like not being it. And Storm Duck, it may or may not be back again this week. So we shall see on that front. He's their best corner. So yeah, I get the thesis, man. And I kind of like in the 6 persons in particular, like if I'm playing dog bowls, I think I want to find a skinny stack option for my Herbert stuff and just go 2 birds, 1 stone. But if I'm playing in the 6 persons, I can totally see, hey, man, I'm not playing whack-a-mole with the pass catchers. I'm just playing naked Herbert, and then I'm getting concentrated somewhere else. Or I'm playing Waddle on the other side, but I'm playing Herbert as my quarterback. I'm playing Achane on the other side. I'm playing Herbert as my quarterback. I like that setup more than trying to be like, who's going to be the pass catcher who goes for 120 and 2 scores. I think most likely it would be QJ, but I don't definitively know that.
I fully agree. That's basically where I'm at. Like 12 persons, might as well stack. 6 persons, you can do them naked and shoot for ceiling.
Let's talk about the backfield there. Kamani Vidal is not playable on our site. He's not in the player pool for whatever reason. And they talked about that they were going to bring in a veteran. That has now taken place. They bring Naheem Hines back to the team, who was in there in the preseason alongside them. Haskins goes way back to college at Michigan there. Some love, some affinity for him. I think he gets the first crack in what we would refer to as the base down stuff, and particularly the goal line stuff. He's available on our site. He's draftable. He's RB18. I don't know. Thoughts on playing Haskins this week?
Probably not. Okay. Probably not doing it.
I tend to agree with you, man. Like, people were excited last week to play Rico. They were excited to play Michael Carter had he been available to play. They were excited to play Rachaad White. This one, I think we can kind of just not wave and just be like, you know what? If Haskins scores 2 touchdowns on the ground versus that with that shitty offensive line, it probably just means Herbert got them in a position to score twice, and then it just wound up that it was punch-ins at the goal line. And the ceiling is like 18 fantasy points and probably doesn't matter in the 6 persons anyways.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, heard a lot of smart people talking about this one. Slade Insani in the chat, the Gus Bus news. Like, he just has a connection to that franchise and that coaching staff for so long, in particular Greg Roman. So everybody's kind of like waiting with bated breath that Gus Bus ends up signing there, and he could instantly be a plug-and-play goal line kind of guy there. Kamara as a trade. There was an interesting nugget from Silva the other day that he basically thought, I guess it was from Underwood via Silva, that he thinks Kamara wants to retire a Saint, and that if he was actually moved on and traded and stuff, he would actually just retire and not even play football anymore. That was Underhill, man.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
come on. Dude. That's insane.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
especially. I mean, he's got an opt out after this year, and the contract can be voided for next year. But he's got 11 million on the table. I mean, wherever he goes or whatever happens with Kamara, he's going to be restructuring that deal. Like, because it's the NFL, because they don't give a shit about players and guaranteed money and running backs and all this stuff. That contract is not going to exist next season unless he's on the Saints still. So he's going to get restructured in some capacity. So I could see him wanting to stay. I get it that, you know, it's kind of crazy that he would veto a trade to stay with the Saints right now.
He would not. And I don't know that he, like, the way he vetoes it is if it's sabotage, you know, where he's just like, tell them that I will not play. Like, and which would just be like insane, because it's like, hey, Kamara, like you have a chance to win a Super Bowl and you can still like make all this money that you are like being overpaid to make. And he would say no.
Yeah.
God, I love, and I mean, there's not many things I love more in this industry than like an Evan Silva Underhill report, but like, God, I do not buy that in the slightest.
Underhill be damned after last week in my Taysom Hill exposure. Hey, we're moving on.
I was talking to Underhill, and he said,
"Nice. That was a good Joey. That was Nez doing Joey doing Silva.
Yeah, that's like the Davis doing Pete levels of.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Oh shit, we have too much fun around here. Nez, other side, Miami, dude, Darren Waller role looks fucking legit. He came out, balled the F out in the first half, and then just didn't do much in the second half. There, it's still low volume, but he seems to earn a target every effing time he's out there. He seems to be a focal point of the offense in the red zone there when they want to make him one. Can Tua do enough against a what we deem tough Chargers secondary to support Waddle, Achane, and Waller in this game?
I hope so. Okay. Because Waddle, and Waddle, Waller, and Achane go every single time. They go every single time. Chargers against the Commanders, who I would deem lowly at this point in their season, have they didn't do a whole lot, man. Those against the Commanders. I think Waller is just like, can we call him a smash? Darren Waller, comes in week 4, runs 36% of routes, and has a utilization score of 72. Then he has a utilization score of 87 on 68% of routes.
You fucking love the dude, man. Shout out Darren Waller for coming off the street and mattering, dude.
Dude, he's sick.
He's so sick.
Yeah. And it's not like he's a bum. It's Darren Waller. It's Darren fucking Waller, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shame Tyreek Hill isn't healthy, because like, wow, this could actually be like even more fun. But Darren Waller could perhaps offer a similar challenge to defenses where it's like, he's somebody that we have to like focus on. Like, I don't know that Waddle has a ceiling, but Waller for his position, I think, is like an excellent pick. And Achane's still Achane, despite the lack of receiving role last week. Like, he's like, I think that was clearly an outlier. So Waller, Achane, absolutely fire them up. Waddle, I'm cautious on. Maybe you need to see some Leone bias to. Well, okay, we have some Waddle stuff in the pick'em lobby. All right,
let me guess.
Waddle looks pretty good. Sorry.
Well, let me guess. Pick'em lobby has him at 63.5.
66.5.
Better than I thought. Nice. I like that.
Dude, for reference,
forget how fucking fast Waddle is, man.
Yeah.
Like he
Waddle
can
too.
win in so many different ways. I love Waddle. I mean, I'm a sloppy who took him like not at all last year at his price point, but then in best ball, I mean, I took HN and Waddle in every damn draft we did together. So those were my guys. So yeah,
Yeah. Waddle or Jamar Chase?
this week.
Yeah.
That's really close. I think I like the notion that Flacco is going to try and push the ball more than Jake Browning was willing to. Like I think Jake Browning's interceptions weren't because he was like trying to make good plays. I think they were just awful bad throws because he sucks at football. I think Jamar Chase's ability to get open and Flacco just pepper dudes against a defense in which we've seen before, I'm down for it. But we are Packers defense respectors, and I don't know. I like both those defenses. I that's fucking close. I like that. I think I want to play this game, Nez, through Achan. Like I saw Achan's ADP and I was like, how's he not player number 4 and right behind JSN? Like I think I'd rather play Achan than Josh Jacobs this week, and that was like my angle here.
Wow. I think that's very, very spicy.
Mm.
I think it's extremely spicy.
Yeah, just given the Bengals matchup.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs is like 2 touchdowns waiting to happen.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep pushing here. I think Dolphins, like to summarize, I think Dolphins ownership collectively is too high for this spot, but given the concentration and how much we like the individual players, I'm kind of fine taking like one in each spot. But this doesn't feel like a game to me that could get like crazy out of hand and put up 58 points because I am a respecter of the Chargers defense. Is that a good synopsis?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it happens by way of the Chargers making it happen via their offense, where they are scoring at will and the Dolphins have to crank up the aggressiveness and they have to be effective at it. And that part seems thin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we're in lockstep there. Let's do Panthers and Cowboys here. Man, 50 total here. Everyone's going to be excited to have the Chuba versus Rico debate here. 3 points by way of the Cowboys on the road. Are you still respecting the Panthers defense in any regard now, Nez? Like I haven't been on the same camp. I've been jamming teams against them. I kind of want to keep doing so here. I like the idea of playing this as like a back and forth game environment, but I really don't know who to play on the Panthers side other than Tet. Like the role looks really nice, but he just, they haven't found the end zone yet. And I don't know, man. Coker had the practice window open up for him. If you get a backfield to yourself for Rico, I think it's a lot of fun to attack that angle here if we get no Chuba again this week. But if you get a little bit of a split backfield, like some of the Canales quotes are like, hey, we like both guys now. We have 2 talented players, I think it was. It was like, we have 2 talented running backs. That's a good problem to have or something. It does sound a little more splitty right now than previous. I don't know. I feel more comfortable clicking the Cowboys side of this one.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I'm going to name you some players.
Okay.
In what spot did Devon Achane have his lowest scrimmage yards?
Okay. In what spot did Devon Achane have his lowest scrimmage yards? Okay. You're going to tell me it was Panthers?
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Panthers.
Yeah, they put up no points that game, Panthers. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're confusing, they're confounding, and I think because Travis Etienne put up 143 on the back of like a very, very long run, they are presumed to be trash, awful, bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just looking at I'm just looking at what's ahead of me, like what I have to go off of, and what I have to go off is that the Panthers are underrated. They're underrated defensively. I mean, I don't know what to do with this information. I think it makes me sound stupid, but like they're underrated, man.
Okay.
That said, Javonte Williams in like the most nutted role you could imagine.
Yeah, man.
George Pickens without CeeDee Lamb if CeeDee Lamb doesn't go. Jake Ferguson if Jake Ferguson is able to go. I saw a stat from Jacob Gibbs, man. Jake, I need to actually, I have to get this right because this is this is insane. Well, first off, Jake Ferguson, I found out from our friend Davis Maddock, 5th in the NFL in targets, but that's like not it. Jake Ferguson is a 3-way tie. Wait, no, hold on. Fuck, let me find this. He's like one of the league leaders in broken tackles as well.
Wow.
Like it's kind of nutted. So yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Hashtag follow the money, man. That thesis, a couple good theses played out with the Cowboys from best ball season was I was taking Javonte Williams despite everybody else telling me not to. And I was taking Ferguson as the backstack option a shit ton because just follow the money and tight end doesn't matter. He might just score a bunch because they gave him a bunch of money, right? Like they clearly see something in him.
Yeah. So what it was, I apologize. Last year, in 13 healthy games, he was the tight end league leader in avoided tackles. Now, in terms of pre-snap motion, 3-way tie for league high targets as the pre-snap motion player. Ferguson is 3rd. He's tied with Zay Flowers and Puka, so they're using the shit out of him. So like all this to say, like
Puka.
Yeah, and Jake fucking Ferguson. So,
oh my goodness,
you know what I'm saying is like the Panthers are not in a void, but I don't think they're like they're a funnel. They're a flow chart, but also the Cowboys are perfectly concentrated right now that we know who to go to, and they're quarterbacked by one of the best quarterbacks in football, so they're all playable.
Okay,
that was a lot.
All right, all right. No, I respect that. Yeah, if CeeDee Lamb doesn't go, would you swap to someone from the same game, or would you not even get that like deep down the rabbit hole? Like they talked about it after the game that Ryan Flournoy had the big performance there. He's been on the roster for a decent amount of time here. He had the big performance because of some of the way the matchup set up last week and the way you could scheme away from basically using George Pickens as like kind of a little bit of a decoy X, sacrificial X last week. He still had the one isolated touchdown catch, but it was Flournoy who was eating underneath. Would you put him in if like Turpin can't go, or would you put him in and CVE can't go? Or would you try and play like the Tolbert angle that people were talking about last week, or does it literally not matter?
I'm not going to play that.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Sounds good. Yeah. Seems a little thin, but like, I could see swapping. Yeah. I could see swapping to it in dog bowls if you get no Turpin, no Mingo, no Lamb, because then they're super condensed, right? And then if you got no Ferg as well, it's kind of like, well, who's going to be out there? It's going to be Pickens, Tolbert, and Flournoy. So,
yeah, no Ferg would maybe make me change my mind.
Okay. No way. Let me see this. Okay, can't swap to him anyways. He's not in the player pool. Oh, he had 100 yards last week. What happened here, guys?
Oofed.
Man. Oh, well. Okay. Okay. Ferguson is not breaking tackles. He has been. He literally has been.
At one point in time, he was.
Okay, Nez, let's push forward here. Let's talk about the Patriots who are coming off a big win, divisional win against the Bills there, and now they get this Saints team that plays so effing fast and had looked somewhat inept on defense outside of all the turnovers in the second half against the Giants. Their chalk defense on redacted, getting home in a big way there by forcing, I think it was 3 fumbles and an interception in the second half of that one. I don't know if that is more of a Giants stat or a Saints defense stat, but 46 total here in the Superdome, 3.5 by way of the Patriots here. Yeah, Drake May playing decently, but you know, we haven't seen those big outlier passing games from him yet. He's QB6 on the slate, just continually putting up 20-ish fantasy points, and then if he happens to run one in or pass for 2, He finds his way to like those mid-20s scoring ranges. I think a lot of people are going to be excited to play Drake May as QB6 here. No idea what to do with the Patriots backfield. Hands up. No idea what to do with the Saints in terms of skill position players here. We're going to keep buying low on the Olave. We're going to keep buying low on, every usage model here. I thought Taysom getting 6 carries was encouraging, but he only played 9 snaps. I don't know, man. This is hard to be like, hey, I want to play this shit out of this game and have it not play through Drake May.
Yeah. I mean, Drake May, hell of a game last week, and like didn't have a passing touchdown to go along with it, I think. So his numbers looked kind of poor. But yeah, man, he was awesome just in general. I'm like super stoked about this game, man. I saw this on the slate and I was like, yeah, this is like the game I want to get to big time. So like I like Diggs here a ton. Diggs utilization has like skyrocketed.
Yeah, that was my bad on missing Diggs as skill position player. He looked great in the revenge game, but he said it was personal, and then he gets 12 targets, 146 yards there from Diggs. That was my bad.
Yeah, so Diggs routes, he ran 82% of routes week 4, 64% of routes week 5, which, isn't awesome, but targets per route run in week 4, 39%. Targets per route run in week 5, 52%.
Wow.
It was a coin flip every time Diggs ran a route that he was going to get a target.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
50% of the air yards in week 5, 65% of the air yards in week 4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, they have found their connection. He is very much recovered from his surgery, which he had missed no OTAs. So we kind of knew that he was trending well. And now he's facing the Saints defense, who, like, I just continue to state, stinks. They are not good. And they play fast. They are a dream for fantasy. So you can play the Patriots. Like, let's just go down the board here. Diggs, smash. Drake May. Drake May might not really be smashable because I think he's still a great play. I just don't think he's going to have to run that much.
Yep.
Now, I think the sneakiest scroll here is probably Ramondre Stevenson.
Okay. 13 fantasy points last week. Yep. 2 touchdowns.
Like 7 for 14 and 2 is like not it, but like Drake May was moving the chains and like keeping the Bills off the field because like they couldn't do shit against Diggs. But the Saints, however, stink in a lot of areas. Defensively, they're terrible. Offensively, now that the Patriots are starting to get better with Christian Gonzalez back, you can't run against the Patriots. Very well at least. So they're going to have to pass. And like even with a not so great pass defense with New England, who just got Christian Gonzalez back once again, what kind of success are they going to have? I don't think much. So like I think Ramondre is like such a sneaky, awesome play here. 6 rounded dog bowls. They don't have any trust whatsoever in Trevion, man. Gibson's out for the season, and like they just like don't. Like they just keep talking about Trevion as though he's like has a lot of work to do, and his advanced numbers look poor. Even with Ramondre, who like literally just like cannot hold on to the ball, they still put trust in him. So for me, man, I just think the Patriots going to kick some ass, and I think Ramondre is live for 2 scores here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he fell into the end zone twice, as he said previously last game. He also had a fumble in that one. He continues to fumble, yet they continue to trust him. Good shout on the Antonio Gibson being done for the year here, because that's not a nothing burger when he was getting, 7 touches, 6 touches, 7 touches, 6 touches in the last 4 games there. Like some of that shit's got to go somewhere. And if you want to bet on the Ramondre getting like 4 additional carries, that makes sense. I got Spider-Man meme all over the place for you here, Nez.
Let's hear it.
Haskins, Ramondre, Kareem Hunt, Michael Carter, Kenneth Gainwell, 5-way Spider-Man meme where their whole role is dependent on falling into the end zone twice to matter on a slate.
Great verbal meme. I think that was spot on, John.
Let's talk about the Saints side, dude. You know, the hashtag by Leone is always going to have our boy Chris Olave in there. Rashid Shaheed scored an absolute banger of a touchdown there. Taysom Hill is tight end 15, might get worked in a little bit more, but both Foster Moreau and Juwan Johnson are healthy there. Plus, they have 2 healthy running backs to get the football to. I think the problem with Taysom, I watched a lot of that game last week because I had so much Taysom. The problem with the Taysom stuff last week was like new OC, you know, new coach. Kellen Moore kind of was like, okay, Taysom's on a limited capacity. And when he comes into the ball game, they just know he's getting the ball. He wasn't out there, you know, split out wide as a receiver randomly. He wasn't out there split into the tight end along the line randomly. He wasn't in there as a fullback where it's like, oh no, they could give the ball to 2 guys. It was like when Taysom was in the ball game, it was like 4th and 1 quarterback sneak. Everyone knows where the ball is going. So like the Taysom usage wasn't overly creative and wasn't the shit that we had seen of Taysom in the past. It's encouraging to see that he had 6 carries and he threw the ball once on 9 snaps, but it was not, you know, you'd expect a guy like Kellen Moore to be like way more creative with it. And I would love to be the guy that be like, yo, let's jam Taysom in this spot. He can separate at the tight end position unlike any other tight end. But given the strength of tight end on this slate and some of the matchups we're seeing, I want to be that guy. I don't think I can be that guy this week, man. I play it before you see it. I guess it may be narrative, but like I just don't trust that it's going to be creative enough. You're really banking on him like breaking off 1 40-yard run against a team that's pretty good on the ground.
Exactly, right. It just doesn't seem like the spot. But here's the play. He flops against the Patriots, and then he gets the Bears next week. What do you think about
Let's
that?
fucking go. Let's go. Taysom week is next week. We're postponing it. We're postponing
it. It's on the main slate. It's on the main slate too. So.
Oh my god, dude. We're gonna be playing Caleb doubles with a Taysom bring back. I'm gonna be whoa.
Taysom's gonna open tight end 3, and we're gonna wonder who's responsible next week. I will say those 6 carries first game backs. Pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty good to see. I mean, you can't lie, man. That's encouraging.
If you had told me before the slate that hold on.
Oh.
Sorry, heavy sneeze out of nowhere. If you had told me before the slate that just given the landscape of the tight end slate of last week, if you had told me like we had so many outlier performances with the tight ends scoring 2 touchdowns. You know, we had the Theo Johnson one, we had the Waller one, we had the Ferg one. We had a big outlier slate, and then tight ends 1 and 2 in Warren and McBride didn't even matter, kind of thing. So it was an outlier tight end slate in that sense. If you told me before the slate with those bullish like Underhill quotes that we got the Glazer report as well, and you told me he was going to get 6 carries, I would have fucking played Taysom anyways. So shoot me. I don't know.
No, dude, I don't think you made. I do not think you made a bad decision there. I think that was the move.
All right. Yeah, keep giving me updates here, Eggers. I'm not gonna lie. So I can't watch MLB TV due to blackout restrictions in Canada for the postseason. I have to watch it on my TV, which is kind of just annoying. So I have the MLB game day up with like the pitch by pitch, and just saw that they had a runner on third in the first inning there. But give me updates in the chats here. Like Bryce Miller is dealing. This is what I need to hear to keep me motivated, to keep me going out here. Nez, any love for like Kamara squeaky wheel or something like that? It was encouraging to see some of the reception stuff come back the last couple weeks here with we talked about his targets per route run being like so down there. Could we play bounce back spot for Juwan Johnson in like just as a red zone threat? Do we think Spencer Rattler can move the football at all in this matchup to scroll down to Shaheed to play Olave again? What do you think?
I mean, they're at home, and before Gonzalez came back, you could pass against the Patriots. Maybe there's a chance that you still can, and the Gonzalez impact's overrated. But I'm not going to get to Rattler, but I think Olave. I don't think it's bad process to continue to like Martingale Olave, especially at that ADP.
Right.
But man, it's just such a sad click.
Look at these fucking targets. 13, 10, 14, 6, 11. Like it's just crazy, man. He's just getting peppered out of the slot over and over again.
It's not ideal, is it? No.
Nez, let's move on, man. This one could be real dusty, or who knows? Who knows? I'm interested to see where you're at on this one. But Titans and Raiders here, 4.5 by way of the Raiders, 41.5 total here. Raiders are absolutely decimated on the offensive line, including their best offensive lineman in Colton Miller there. We saw the hashtag models are just going, yo, Jacoby Myers, come on. He's got to eventually, we're going to get some positive regression for Geno Smith. Keep jamming Jacoby. Keep jamming Jacoby is going to be the narrative, I imagine, when we get the hashtag projections out here. Yeah, I mean, Genty, ADP 11, he's looked good. He's looked explosive, but the O-line concerns are still there, and the receiving work concerns are still there. The Brock Bowers Q tag, I mean, I think they just got to let this dude get healthy. I'm not anticipating him coming back this week, but we can have that conversation in a half second. And then the Titans, man, shock the world there and have a comeback win against Arizona. Arizona shot themselves in the head like 9 times in the fourth quarter there with both their play calling and the fumble at the goal line, all that sort of stuff. People are talking about Cam Ward, how he looks better than the film suggests right now. Everyone from this game outside of Genty is free right now. What are your thoughts on it? Do we want to get back to the Calvin Ridley who played through the injury, who had the Q tag all week, played through it, and then earned a decent target share? Can we even play Tony Pollard now that Tajay Spears is back and the coach speak is more of a 50-50 split in that backfield? Is there anything here for the 6 persons?
I mean, like, obviously, like, Genty. I love Genty here, man.
Yep.
The last 4 games, the pass rate over expected has really gone down for Las Vegas. So I'm kind of reading that as like, oh, well, like they are going to continue to try to run the ball more. And against the Titans, man, they should be able to run the ball very well. So that's like that's really like how I'm playing it and what I'm counting on. Yeah, I love Genty, man. He's such a sick role. This should be a Genty game.
Okay, sure. Cool. Yeah, Ricky Beer's agreeing with you in the chat there that like they're not in a position to scheme up big things for certain dudes. They're scratching and clawing right now. It's Genty or nothing. I mean, I get it. Genty or Javonte Williams this week?
So I'm Genty, but Javonte has the same role as Genty, and the offense and his team is better. So like, if you want to go Javonte, I get it, but like, I like Genty. I like Genty here.
While I'm looking at the running back stuff, just for a half second here, is Rico Dowdle's ADP just by far the worst ADP in all of the land right now?
I don't know, because we don't have Chuba practicing today. Okay. Not even dressed. So
it seems like a very binary pick where if he's going every single time in 6 persons, that I'll either run the risk that Chuba suits up, or I'll run the risk that he flops relative to his ADP, even though everybody wants to play him. I don't know. It's a very interesting, because that one's going to break either really right because he gets the backfield to himself in a good matchup, or not. Yeah, I don't know. Revenge game for Rico too. Any narrative there? I guess we kind of glossed over that.
Yeah, he's definitely got this circled on his calendar.
Man,
I just like, so like for dog bowls, when you're on the clock and you are like, it's like you're picking at the back end of draft boards, and it's your second round pick, and you took a wide receiver, and you're like, well, if I don't take a running back here, I have like no running back points. So it's like, do I take Rico or not? And early in the week, I didn't think it was a good pick, but I think now that Chuba is not even limited, this is like a good sign to
Okay.
to go ahead and you have the green light from me to take Rico. I'm gonna start doing it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there. I need to ask the question there. Naylor, hardly know her. Naylor double there. Love to see it. First postseason hit for him. I mean, he hit a fucking piss missile last night, Nez, with 2 runners on there. 109 off the bat to the deepest part of the ballpark. Home run in 11 parks. Just wasn't there last night. They could have broke that one wide open last night, but looks like 1-0 Mariners here. Dom Canzone, baby. My guy, Dom Canzone with a base hit, driving in Naylor. Love to see it. Good things trending well for our M's. Ball knowers taking the chat here from Keaton Hill, saying no worries about Jeffrey Simmons against Genty. We have some D-line DVP action here, Nez, of D lineman matchup versus Genty. That is some absolute fucking ball knowledge.
That's so awesome.
All right, dude, let's push on here. A lot with this Bucks and Niners game is going to deal with the practice reports and the Q tags. Bucky Irving, the most recent note, is still in a walking boot and most likely won't play this week, which would bring, again, Rachaad White into play here. 47.5 by way of the unabated line, 3 by way of the Bucks in this one of the 2 late afternoon games. We talked a little bit about Niners. George Kittle Q tag. All the wide receivers missed last week, so they're going to have Q tags, so you got to be watching the practice report. But we get Christian McCaffrey back on the main slate, which means he is the 1-0-1 on the week. But Purdy, Jennings, Pearsall, Kittle, all with Q tags right now. Could bring Tungus into our life. Could bring Kendrick Bourne back into our life, who had a monster game with 142 yards on 11 targets in prime time. They're very swappable if you want to play the Kendrick Bourne stuff against what we deem as a pass funnel of the Bucks here. This game is fun to me, but there are so many Q tags here that I don't know. I guess everybody's just playing it through Ibuka right now and CMC. It gives me the warm and fuzzies that late in the week here, Nez, we can play this game in a slightly contrarian angle when we have more information than the field does now.
Yeah, for dog bulls, I like taking the risk on these Q tags because if they do play, I think this game is going to be just electric. But for 6 persons, yeah, it's a little different. Just kind of have to wait and see and get some more information on these practice reports. But yeah, I think this game is going to look and play out very similar to the last game that the Bucks just played against the Seahawks. I am very much into this game. I think this is going to be a very fun, awesome game here. And yeah, I want lots of pieces of it for sure. Because once again, man, you can't really, you can't really run against the Seahawks, can't really run against the Niners necessarily. So yeah, bring on the Baker pass attempts. Let's run it, man. This game should be awesome.
Yeah. Did you see the Baker retweet from the Underdog NFL account? I retweeted it this morning there, but Baker has a 30-second press conference clip, and he's like basically talking now. I don't like to get too high, too low, that kind of stuff. And then he goes the other angle of like they asked him about chirping the Seattle fans. And he's like, yeah, man, when I was a rookie, it was cocky, it was arrogant, it was whatever. Now that you're playing well and winning and I'm a vet, he's like, it's moxie, it's dog in me. He's like, same shit, different day. It was just such a relatable, such a good quote from a player. Like, it's just, it's so true, man. It's all relative to how well you're playing and what the narrative. He's like, I'm the same dude. I've always been this dude. But now that I'm playing well, it's dog instead of like, being cocky or something.
It's true, man. It's true. You have to earn the right to be that type of person. And I'm glad he did.
Yeah, pretty good. Ricky Beers doubling down on the should be worried about JPG there. Noah's asking any double dribble drafts. Absolutely. Probably Tuesday of next week, our multi-sport draft league window there, because I would say at least Tuesday, maybe even Thursday as well. For next week, we're going to be doing some more hoop stuff there, getting people primed up for the NBA season. Just did puck this week because puck was locking. Yes, baseball is obviously still a thing. Go Cards. We'll be mixing in some baseball stuff here, but the slates are just, they're starting so early, and there's honest to God, there's just not a ton to say other than like looking at the bullpen because it's the same matchups over and over again. It's just kind of who's available in the bullpens, what handedness is the starter today, and everybody's run totals are like between 3.8 and 4.5, and everyone knows who the ace is on the slate. They're amazing slates to watch. They're amazing slates to just play on your own accord and take in playoff baseball. But there's just like from a show dynamic standpoint, the football stuff is just so much more enjoyable to talk through right now.
Yeah, for sure. We just talked about the game, but or not just talked about the game, but Jalen Coker full practice, by the way.
Who did? Sorry,
Jalen Coker.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just an interesting wrinkle to that game, giving them another weapon out there, especially a field stretcher. Although Xavier Legette, man, I thought he played well last game and made a really nice catch in the end zone there, like a diving catch on a put it where only he could catch it kind of like ball. He made a great play there. So yeah, they just getting that pass catching corp would help push game environment there. I think this is a good question just to end the conversation on Niners stuff with here, Nez. Like the how much of it was like Jennings and Purdy sitting on a short week, and then we can go back out there. I think they just brought Purdy back too early, and they were forced into playing Purdy because Mac Jones was hurt. I don't think Purdy would have played that game that he did play if Mac Jones had been 100% healthy without the leg injury, and they could have afforded to let Purdy. Purdy suffered a setback because of being thrust into action. There would kind of be like my take. Yeah.
I don't think that they're correlated. I think it's all individual. It's all on an individual basis for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, Bucs side of the equation here. Obviously, we had the Mike Evans conversation earlier there. We're kind of both in the camp that like he probably doesn't play. I think if you had to like, gun to my head, does Mike Evans play or does CeeDee Lamb play this week? I would think it would be Evans versus CeeDee in that isolated scenario. Not that they're like correlated in any regard. I just think Evans is a little bit closer based on the stuff that I've been reading, but monitor the practice reports here. Bucs are going to be decently concentrated again. If you get no Bucky and no Evans, you could play Igbuka, who's just breaking all the models right now in terms of like him actually having a field stretching role. We thought he was just going to be like kind of like a slot, underneath kind of guy, and that is anything but the case. He has this nice vertical role. There is a ton of variance in terms of his touchdown scoring prowess, and he is going to have a clunker at some point. But as Baker continues to go burr, Igbuka continue to go burr as well. Rashad White looked like 90% Bucky, and Sean Tucker didn't really factor into that, so that's fun. Chris Godwin came back down to earth after having 10 targets, only has 4 in this one. He's still working his way back into this, but maybe a cheeky scroll to Godwin, or is it just, the 3 aforementioned Bucs pieces?
Godwin's a good scroll in dog bowls. In 6 persons, I don't think it's worth it, but in dog bowls, I think he's a good pick. I was a little surprised he didn't get much work in that shootout. That was definitely like weird. But yeah, we will. We'll see, man. I would think he sees his routes go back up. It's just like, man, is the effectiveness. Is he really not fully healthy, right? Like, what's his effectiveness like? Okay, that's the question here.
Sounds good. Keaton asking when we found our love and first became interested in baseball. The running joke around here, Keaton, for years has been Nez and I are baseball guys. We are baseball first. We did football to accommodate the people, and then it was our long love of baseball that is where we really love and thrive. But we love it all now that we're so vested in every sport on the platform. But gun to my head, I can only draft one contest ever again on this platform. It's going to be the Dinger. If it was, you could only draft one for the rest of your life, it would be 150 maxing the Dinger. All right, Neds, let's move on. Let's have the Joe Flacco conversation. Obviously not draftable in our player pool. Do not do so. Packers coming out of the bye, 14.5 point favorites here, 44.5 on the unabated line. here for this Packers and Bengals game. A lot of people are going to be scared about the Parsons versus statue Flacco narrative in this one. I don't know. Can we get Bengals pushing in garbage time, kind of like we got them in the Lions game? Is the Packers defense too good to do so? Is there going to be some post-bye rookie bump for a guy like Matthew Golden? We saw the practice window for Christian Watson open up this week. Basically, everybody is playing Green Bay and playing this game total through the run. Everyone's playing it through Jacobs. Everybody's playing it through Tucker Kraft. Is there any reason that we should be the guys playing, Jordan Love doubles or Jordan Love skinny stack with Golden for the post bump or post rookie bye bump there, Nez? Just thoughts on the Packers side.
Yeah, I mean, Jacobs is just the biggest smash ever here. The problem's going to be is if like the defense like does too much against the Bengals and they get a pick six or a turnover for a touchdown and that takes away a possession for the Bengals or for the Packers. That would be a big time problem. But otherwise, like Josh Jacobs, man, is scoring twice and it might even be 3 times here. It's just it's going to be all Josh Jacobs here, man. But that said, I think like you also have the ability for Jordan Love to be extremely efficient as well, which is how he's been pretty much all season. So like it could also be a Jordan, like they can literally attack the Bengals however they want. And if Joe Flacco comes in to Lambeau Field and puts up some points here and makes this a game, then we are going to see Jordan Love be the optimal QB for sure. But I think that's absolutely what it will take. I love Matthew Golden. Really, really gettable here. It just, to me, makes all the sense in the world. You mentioned the post-bye rookie bump for him. We already saw the role in like getting better leading up to the bye. So I love Golden here for sure. I think he's a really fun pick.
Okay, cool. Any love for Romeo Doubs, who just continues to play the X for them? He continues to have, like, quote unquote, the best role on the team there. Finds the end zone twice on that primetime Monday night game, their last game in which they played, or maybe found the end zone 3 times in that game. 3 times, I think, because he broke that slate wide open. But hasn't had massive block scores, but he's looked like they're kind of like goal line guy.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play Love with Golden, Kraft, or Naked.
Okay, sounds good. Kraft in the utilization report there, a 70 score, 18% targets per route run, 79% of routes. Kind of a low tight endy A dot there, but this 20% of red zone targets is pretty encouraging.
Yeah, Kraft is the man. He's a hell of a play this week.
Okay, sounds good. As far as to say that he is tight end 1 on the slate, as Jordan's asking?
No, I don't think so, but he's like tight end 3.
All right. Let's talk about the Bengals side there, dude. Is Chase Brown just completely cooked, or can this offense come back to life with Flacco at the helm there? T. Higgins and Chase, can we play them both comfortably now that we have Joe Flacco in the fold here? I don't think we want to play any of the tight ends, but like a Mike Gesicki scroll the F down might be in play in the dog bowl, or is that insane to say out loud?
I'm not doing Gesicki, man.
I agree. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but maybe Chase. Like, I think you have to consider this an upgrade for Chase and Higgins.
Yeah.
I don't want to overstate it because Joe Flacco. It's been years since Joe Flacco's looked good. Literally years.
Yeah. 2.5.
So, yeah, I don't want to get overhyped here, but yeah, if Jamar Chase is a decent pick. Higgins, I don't think I'm going to get to Higgins, man. I don't even want to get to Jamar Chase. You can hear it in my voice. I don't want to do it. I like Diggs over Jamar Chase this week.
Okay. Yeah, you're just playing that game environment versus this one.
Yeah,
Packers at crazy. Home. Dude, Packers at home, out of the bye, 14-point favorites. Like, that's a scary spot. And like Flacco didn't exactly, I mean, now this is completely different because he's going to have Higgins and Chase and that sort of stuff. But Flacco didn't exactly do fucking anything against them in the game that they won versus them. It was kind of Judkins with some long runs, and the defense stood on their head for the Browns. I'm talking like Flacco in the game that he played the Packers. He had 36 attempts. Like the nicest thing you can say is listen to these Flacco attempts this year. 45, 45, 36, 34. And in those 36 attempts, he only throws for 142 yards and an interception. He has thrown for 2 touchdown passes this year and 6 interceptions. I mean, as much as we want this to be like, this is a huge upgrade over Jake Browning, I mean, it very well could just be the same fucking thing in disguise.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, and that's kind of what I'm expecting.
Yeah. I mean, Chase has the ability to take a 6-yard slant to the house from 70 yards out at any point in time. He has the ability to win a 50-50 ball up in the air 55 yards downfield and take it to the house at any time. But that's kind of baked into the price point right now.
For sure.
Yeah. That's it, Nez. That's 10 up. That's 10 down in terms of the games. If you had to pinpoint a slop it up of the week, I think you're going to tell me that it's Patriots Saints based on ADP and based on just the lack of everybody else's desire to get to that game.
Which game? So I just got a notification
Patriots
about them on Raw, and I'm
Saints.
like losing my mind. Yeah, that's I love that spot, man. I love the spot for the Patriots. I love it.
Okay,
love it.
Yeah, I think I'd throw my hat in the ring too for Seahawks and Jags, and like just Seahawks being good enough on offense to move the ball a little bit there, and Seahawks defense not being as good as we originally anticipated, that the Jags can play a little bit back and forth. I know you and I were a little split on that one, but all the pieces outside of JSN are free in that game in the 6 persons. So yeah, not a crazy concept there. Nets, let's rip 2 drafts and then call it a program here so your boy can get tapped in for the 4th inning upcoming. Jumping back over to the platform of the people here, going to jump in a 6-person lobby to start in the Battle Royale.
Let's do it, man.
First Battle Royale of the week for your boy was doing a whole lot of puck stuff yesterday, jamming that Best Buck Classic till lock, then touched ice myself after the Mariners game. And this is my first of the week here in the football streets.
Well, I think you're going to enjoy it, man. The 6 persons are fun this week for sure, with all the moving parts that we talked about.
What was the Amon-Ra notification here? Jordan doubling down. Amon-Ra will never miss a game. He's breathing for toughest player in the world.
Didn't practice with a wrist.
Oh, okay. First practice of the week.
Yeah, they play Sunday night, so that has PTP implications.
Yeah, for sure. We'll talk about it tomorrow there. Funny. Flacco was the hot, sexy play of week 1 versus Cincinnati and now plays for them. That's true. He threw for 290 yards that week too. Yeah, we talked about Ridley a little bit there. Like, it was nice to see the connection finally up with Ward. That was nice. Nez, how are we feeling about the front end of the draft board on this slate? I mean, I think you can go one of 3 ways here, or is it just CMC no matter what?
I think you just go CMC.
Okay. I mean, it is one of the toughest rush defense matchups, and he hasn't been particularly efficient via the ground, but he does so much in the receiving role. If you do get, let's hypothetically paint this picture, Nez. It's Friday morning, and we get, hey, Kittle's gonna play, Purdy's gonna play, Juwan Jennings is gonna play in this ball game. Will you lower the projection on CMC ever so slightly that you would push Jonathan Taylor and or Puka over him?
Maybe Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would maybe consider doing JT over him if that was the case.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what the matchup is. CMC is just ridiculous, man. He's averaging like 20 something points a game and he's like actually underperforming his
Right.
expectation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is crazy. I guess the counter to it, I mean, they've been banged up all over the place, and Kittle's importance in the run game in terms of blocking ability is so important as well. I don't know. I guess maybe the one line that we could talk about, and we talked about it with the Primetime Palooza slate when we had the Puka versus him debate on that one, was just kind of like, hey, does he still have that 70-yarder in his bag? Does he still have that 55-yarder in his bag to break one off? And going against like literally the toughest run defense in football, and Vita Vea being probably the best interior run stopper in the game these days, is it a spot that like, hey, we could conceivably see him breaking a tackle and ripping off 60 yards once?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think he has a 70-yard touchdown in his bag anymore. It's not his game.
Yeah.
His game is just like getting the ball every other play.
Yeah. Which means he's kind of like the Kyron Williams.
He gets the ball way more than that.
So disrespectful. All right. Things are cooking along here. Devontae Adams goes there. We're kind of getting the chalk start in terms of ADP here. Everybody kind of falling in line with it. What's some of the stuff you've been liking in the 6-persons with pairing your CMC teams here, Nez?
I've been, going to Diggs. I've been getting tight ends. Kyron, I think, is interesting, just given the matchup.
Yep.
But we have some different options now. I like McBride or Warren here at the turn, too.
Okay. Let's take Kyron and then let's take the tight end and figure it out. Who do you prefer this week in terms of McBride and Warren?
Warren.
I like that, dude. Just not knowing Kyler's health, just the continual ineptness to find him in the red zone. Like we're getting to this point where like it was a bit of a bit where the usage was so incredible and we're like, the touchdown has to come. The touchdown has to come. We kept playing the pick'ems for McBride touchdowns. The prices were insane. We have to get this touchdown. And now it's become like, man, maybe Kyler just can't find him in the end zone ever. Like fool me once, fool me a billion times at this point.
He has a Kyler problem for sure.
Right.
He seriously does. And yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah. Just got CMC at the 103. Yeah, man. If you can introduce a way to getting overweight CMC this week, that's pretty badass. Yeah, it doesn't matter. CMC is just going to go 10, 96, and 1. I mean, through the air. Like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, he's he's insane. He's a wide receiver 1 that also adds like 50 to 60 yards on the ground.
Yeah. People are asking, can Julio Rodriguez see a slider? No, he can't. He has the Javi Baez problem right now, where anything on the outer edge from a right-handed hitter, like anything that falls off the plate away from him, he just swings over the top of. He did it like 3 times last night, and they're not even like good sliders necessarily. It's just like he is just sitting dead red fastball, and he swings over everything that breaks out on him. Yeah, that's a good point from Mike. Kittle would really help in the run blocking scheme. That's true. Like Kittle coming back, even though it might impact the target share, would be a net positive, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow. All right. So Rico Steam. I don't think Rico normally goes there. Maybe he does.
Yeah, pretty close. Naked Dak with the double Ram stuff. That's interesting.
Dak is like these rooms, man. They love naked Dak. Happens like all the time.
Diggs. Almost got your boy Diggs to come all the way back here.
Jay Rich couldn't allow us.
Yeah. I am a Waddle guy, Nez. I kind of like the idea of doing Waddle and Herbert, that correlation that we talked about earlier.
Okay.
And then scrolling.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. We don't have to even stack Herbert if we don't want to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we had that conversation where it was like you can play Herbert multiple ways. How about the Galbrain? Herbert has the ability to run one in the red zone more so this week than ever before without his 2 starting running backs.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Not bad, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No Purdy practice today.
No Purdy. Okay. Casey
Should be good.
Mize, 6 Ks right now. Welcome to playing the Mariners in a pitcher's park. I like this scroll. Pittman. We kind of save the majority of the scrolls and stuff as like today kind of sets the framework, you know? We set the framework with like the player pool, we set the framework with the game environments. We talk through it all, and then the sneaky scrolls come out on Friday. But I don't mind the Pittman scroll. Found the end zone last week. I'm about it.
No Ricky and no Jawan.
At practice?
Correct.
Okay.
We're waiting on this Kittle stuff, though.
Okay. We see a Chris Olave scroll here. It would be a really strong tight end slate if we got both Kittle and Ferg.
Yeah, I'd be really, really upset if Kittle plays because I took Tonjas a few times in the dog bowl.
Oh, yeah. Just to get ahead a little bit.
Yeah, in that spot, it just like felt great, but
yeah. Judkins at 32 with a love to craft stack. May as a little skinny stack with Henry there. Waller looks like a naked Waller, and he's going to find a running back to go alongside the Dak with the Stafford double stuff. As you guys can see, Stafford and Baker, one of them's going to go undrafted here. Lamar with the Q tag. So even though Baker, 27 ADP QB3, he's still going to be less than 100% owned here. I'm thinking of some players here, Nez. I got 3 names in my mind here.
Okay.
We can speak freely because Sanjay Rich, shout out to Sanjay Rich, who dropped off 100 Badge Bros memberships once upon a time. We could do the Lad stack. We could do the Keenan Allen stack, but I want to get a little more creative than that. I think doing Marv Harrison off of the Tyler Warren stuff.
Yeah, it's something I've done. Let's do it.
What would you prefer here? Golden's kind of fun too. Flowers, I probably.
Yeah, Flowers is an okay pick. It's just very bad back here. I think I maybe would have just like opted for the stack, even though we talked about not doing it. But maybe all the Justin Herbert drafters will do that. But yeah, right. It gets pretty ugly fast. Maybe even a Matthew Golden.
Matthew Golden would have been a fun scroll because the vast majority of the Matthew Golden scrolls are going to be in tandem with Love. So doing it without, I was today years old. I was aware of the Naked Herbert, call it the Madison Beer special here, the birthday suit that Michael's implying in the chat here. I would say I was borderline familiar with her game, but upon further review, I mean, Herbert, man, we talk about Baker being a dog. Herbert, not bad, buddy. Not bad, Justin Herbert. Not bad for the guy that used to be long-haired, freckled-faced kid who was a little nerdy coming out of Oregon. Not bad, Justin. Congratulations. Dude, Justin Herbert, CMC, Kyron, Jalen Waddle, Marv Harrison, and Tyler Warren. Perfectly cromulent. Nothing too crazy by way of the scrolls. I guess the Marv Harrison one will probably be about 40-ish% on this slate. But yeah, it's a perfectly cromulent lineup that could be easily duped, I think.
I don't think it's going to be duped.
Okay.
I don't think this would be. I don't think this would be duped very much. Scroll at Warren with the 1-2 turn. Naked Herbert, Marv on its own. Someone would have to be doing a bit.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Sounds good. Nez, let's rip one dog bowl and call it a show here. If you want to hop in alongside, based on the fill rates, we can do that. Let's see. First dog bowl of the week for you, boy. See how many we got. Oh, 7 spots. Get in here, Nez Daniel.
Nice.
Get in here.
Let's do it. We got a quote from Shanahan that says George Kittle has a chance to return in week 7.
Okay. All right.
So Mark's safe in week 6.
Yeah, Mark's saved by the sounds of it. So if you guys are looking for the swap stuff right now, taking him still not like the worst thing in the world, although it is a pretty strong slate for tight end right now. I'm not sure which information could break right that makes you want to take him. I guess it would literally be like the Tungus swap, but you may as well just drop Tungus or draft Tungus.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to risk not having him. Is how I look at it.
Okay. 2 more spots, guys. 2 more spots. Dog Bowl qualifier. 1 more spot. Come hang out with us in Kansas City.
John.
Yeah.
Where we just took Marv Harrison.
Yes.
If we get no Jennings, no Ricky, would you have taken Kendrick Bourne there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have. Dude, I believe the Kendrick Bourne rule. I picked him up this morning in a waivers that I forgot to submit fab for last night. Kendrick Bourne, this narrative with him and Mac Jones. I'd like Kendrick Bourne more if Mac Jones plays than Brock Purdy plays. I'm a fucking believer, man. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
I love it.
All right. Oh, boys, having some good, clean fun on this fine Wednesday afternoon. I didn't know this. Juan Torres, once upon a time, gave us an unbreakable pick'em L word that took us all to the promised land there. Never forget the people that give you the good plays. But even funnier in rumors that her ex with favorite player is Justin Herbert. That's fucking sweet.
Oh.
Could you imagine? He's like a laundry bro. He's wearing his Herbert jersey. She's like sitting beside him every Sunday watching these games. And she's just thinking, why the fuck am I not at these games with Justin Herbert? Like, this guy's pretty good looking. Like, I think I could find my way there instead.
You think it's exactly how it happened?
Dude, so good. I mean, actually, once upon a time, Nikki and I went to a Dodgers game real early on dating. And they were playing the Mariners, and she didn't know she knew baseball. She didn't know a ton about whatever. And she's like, "Oh, Kershaw, like that guy's a smoke show. He's so handsome. I'm buying a Kershaw jersey." And I was like, "No. Like we're gonna wear Mariners teal. Like don't worry. Like whatever." So I buy her a Robbie Cano jersey for the game, right? Teal Robbie Cano jersey. She's wearing it. Half an hour later, she's like, "Oh, I gotta go to the washroom or whatever." Comes back, Dodgers Kershaw laundry on, and bought the jersey at the team store mid game, swapped it out, and then came back with the Kershaw jersey on.
Wow,
unbelievable play! I was like, at that moment, I was like, "Yo, hands up! What a play! What a play! Wife material potentially."
That's hilarious. I mean, man, could you? That was almost like Lindy Waters, the third level. Like if she came back and she was wearing like a Chris Taylor jersey, I'd be like, how the fuck do you know Chris? Best util player in the National League. Sometimes Bria will say something like, she said something to me the other day, and I swear she's just like slipping these in to be funny. She asked me if I had Bijan Robinson once, and I was like
how? What? How do you know Bijan Robinson?
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? Like, is this a joke? Like, is there?
Let me see that search history. Let me see that search history right quick. What have we been searching on the gram recently?
Like, what do you mean? Do I have Bijan Robinson? Like, no, I faded him this year. What are you talking about?
Oh shit. Yes, thank you, Ricky. Yes, truly, but Yes, I love this. Nick, incredibly. I would never incredible. I would have never spoke to her again.
Yeah, she comes back with a Casey Mize jersey.
Yeah. The Chris Taylor one could have been like layers upon layers of meta because he was previously a Mariner.
Oh,
That
I
could
don't
have
even
been,
remember that.
yeah. Yeah, man, like you talked about the Judkins matchup here. I know the role's been so solid. I could see him breaking a couple off and whatever, but it feels like a little bit of a mean projection play here. I think I'm going to take Devontae Adams and just be like, yo, I'm buying into what the Rams are doing here. The X wide receiver role coupled with touchdown equity, coupled with the fact that we think Baltimore secondary is pretty banged up. And then on the other side of this, pending what Nick does here, there's a couple targets that I like to set up, I think.
Devontae feels like a pretty good pick. Yeah, I would take him over most of those guys.
Sounds good. George Pickens for Nick with the first one here. I think there's some really interesting selections for me here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I hate where you're at.
Like just you hate the spot from like the 11-12 range.
I hate that. I hate picking where you're at. Yeah, it's really difficult. I think.
I think Chase was going to be my pick, and then try and maybe set up some Jordan Love, and that pushes game environment stuff there. I think Derrick Henry, like he's not game script agnostic at all. We saw that last week, but he could fall into the end zone off of the Adams stuff. Feels okay. But I do like the narrative you were spinning with the Stephon Diggs stuff here, the role, the uptick, the matchup this week. Scores 19 fantasy points with all the usage in the world without scoring a touchdown last week. I'm encouraged by it, and hopefully Drake May comes back to 35, 38. We could stack that up.
Yeah, I'm glad you're with me on that. I really am I'm very confident in Stephon Diggs this week. Curious to see what his receiving numbers look like when everything comes through on all the markets and when ETR drops, what that does for Steph Diggs, because yeah, I think he's gonna be a riser in the pick'em lobbies for sure.
Okay. Sounds good, dude. I like where we're both at on that one. Thanks for talking me into that one and the potential of that game environment. Yeah, John hates clicking Judkins. Yes, it's true. It's true. For undisclosed reasons, I do not click Judkins, Tyreek Hill, Zeke, or Adrian Peterson. For undisclosed reasons, I do not find myself clicking those players. I'm not sure why.
I click a lot of Adrian Peterson. Yeah, I just yeah, no. Let's see here. Rashad White staring at me. Let's go Rashad White. Why not?
Yeah.
Good roll. Decent total here. Should be a fun game. Last week, utilization score of 88. So that's very good.
That's exactly where I was just going to, Nez. I'll put some other context to that. 80% of snaps. Sean Tucker had 21% of snaps. There, in terms of red zone opportunities last week, Rashad White had 5. Sean Tucker had 2 in there. No other player was close to him. They had 8 total opportunities in the red zone. Igbuka for 2, Sean Tucker for 2, Rashad White for 5 there. So that math ain't mathin', but yeah. Yeah, let me take a little look. Sees here. Rashad White last week, 14 for 41 and 2, and then 4 for 30 through the air. So back-to-back weeks with 4+ receptions. That's always fun to see. We know that's kind of like his calling card, bread and butter. So yeah. Wow, look at our guy Chad Candles. Wins a dog bowl seat and then goes alpha play on everybody. He goes, yeah, you're QB7. No, that's my QB1. Love plus Craft stack on the left side of the board alongside CMC. Eyes on my own paper, but I am paying attention.
That's a very fun little stack there. And then you can probably just round out with 3 straight wide receivers and call it. Yeah, that kind of feels nice because like QB and tight end is not very pleasant in those last 2 rounds, but you can throw darts at wide receiver all day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's also good. Probably won't get paired up a lot with CMC.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, just
Uh,
thinking about the board dynamics. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ricky Pearsall not expected to play. Just got
Oh,
that
already?
in,
Wow. Okay.
but nothing about Jennings. So,
Okay.
oh, this is a
Interesting
tough
stuff.
spot, man. Johnston or Ferg? Um, damn, dude. Damn. Ferg's been so good. He has that Q tag. I'm gonna go
How legit's the
Johnston.
Q tag? Do we know?
I don't think it's legit, but I went QJ. Maybe
Okay.
that might be really bad. And then Schmo takes Herbert. Like Schmo.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say that if I wanted to set up Chargers stuff, do you think it's easier to push Herbert or easier to push QJ? I think it's easier to push QJ.
I disagree.
Okay. People like QJ, they still want to
I
click
mean,
it.
he's a tier break, man.
Okay. Two wide receivers thus far. I do not have. I do want to put in motion this Drake May plan. It was the thesis. I don't think Nick's gonna take it anyways. I think he's gonna do the Dak plus Pickens stack. Do you think it's crazy to double stack? We've seen double stacks get home in the dog bowl here. Do you think it's crazy to double stack a guy like Drake May, where like we're kind of looking for that rushing touchdown as well? Like, would it be a bad play? I think like Dak, Ferg, and Pickens would make a lot of sense, right? Like that makes sense to me. Or if you wanted to do like Williams, Ferg, Dak, is it stupid to think Diggs, May, Henry?
I think it's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fine in this spot
Okay.
for sure. But yeah, I think given the game logs, yeah, I think it's fair to wonder if it's good or bad.
Okay. Man, Warren's ADP is too high for me. That's such a tough matchup.
Full participant.
Jalen, full participant? Okay.
Yeah, got that in today.
Okay. This feels like a 3 wide receiver team, but I do want to get crazy with the scrolls. Okay, I'm playing Alvin Kamara on the bring back on this New England stuff. It's not the sexiest thing in the world. He has been getting his usage taken away all over the place. But let's think Alvin Kamara might still have that juice and scores like a 30-yard reception.
Those running backs aren't very fun back there, are they?
No, they're not. And that's kind of what you're painting the picture with all that green at the front end of draft boards there.
Yeah, like if you forego it, it's pretty shit sledding for sure. Yeah.
3rd and Juwan, baby. Absolutely. Ty saying Herbert doubles feel almost impossible. Be possible if you do like Haskins or Grande or something like that, but
Gadsden.
Yeah. Yeah, have to intentionally do it, like set it up early. Yeah.
Okay.
When you get a chance to take the Bengals double, chase with a 50-year-old man at quarterback against Parson, you just have to do it, says Nick, as he sets up the chase double there.
Oof, man, this is not fun at this pick. We're gonna go Olave.
It's funny, last week, Nez, we were talking about how guys were like, oh man, it's gross at the end of dog bowl and whatever. And we were like, hey, just wait, buddy. Just wait. Like, just wait till we start getting Q-Tex. Just wait till we start getting, 8-game main slates, 9-game main slates and shit. Like, just wait, buddy.
Yeah, those pre-bye week dog bowls were just littered with great picks. Not so much. Not so much.
Yeah. We'll talk about never mind. We'll talk about it tomorrow. This is interesting one from Travioli. I just want to double down on this. We hit it off the top of the show there. Flacco will not accrue points because he traded teams prior to post opening of the slate. So he is listed as a player on the Browns. So it'd be an unfair advantage that if people were drafting him previously and then wanted to draft him here because his value has changed, yada, yada, he becomes an out tag. So he has an out tag on the site right now. So as Nick is setting it up, he's setting it up off of a Dak skinny stack. He's not setting it up to be with Flacco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be the guy who drafts him in a dog bowl unless you were simply looking for a swap, you know? I'm fading some comments in the chat pretty fucking hard right now for some obvious reasons. Kittle just got shifted to a doubtful tag there, Nez. So that Q tag swappability is now gone for us.
Yeah, we still have Bauer's Q tag. They're gonna probably draw that one out, I think.
Did he DMP today?
I imagine he will be. They haven't reported yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at official stuff and not getting it yet. NFL.com should have what NBA.com has in terms of he will have it in terms of injury report stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, 2-0 Mariners. 2-0 Mariners. Pitching changes already. Casey Mize is already out of this ball game. Am I reading this correctly? You guys told me it's 6 Ks through 3 innings, and then Casey Mize gets pulled. Holton gives up a run. Wow.
Well, Mize had the bases loaded, I think, and then Holton did. Maybe Holton did.
Yeah, so someone loaded the bases, and then they brought in the lefty, right?
Yep, it was Holton, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Tunges goes there.
Oh God, I was thinking about taking him.
Yeah, you set it up with the Purdy one there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Purdy DMP. We've been talking about this. We got you. Well, did his best Kyler person. Yeah, we're definitively doing Primetime Palooza behind the paywall tomorrow because I just saw Dave lost his badge here somehow. So Dave lost his badge, which means tomorrow, paywall only, Dave's not invited. That's what we're doing tomorrow.
Not invited.
Not invited, buddy. Interesting to see if Nick will do the double stack with CeeDee Lamb here. I mean, CeeDee Lamb could break a dog bowl if you just like take him here and he ends up playing. We're kind of like in the camp that he's not going to play, but like he will swap as a flex position player for me. But I was going to play the double stack Drake via Travion Henderson breakout game was going to be my way of playing it here, Nez. I know you were a little bullish on the Ramondre and the usage there. I think some of that Gibson work might go to Hendo here. I'm gonna play it like that.
All right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of best ball bros are hoping that's the case.
Yeah. I have a scroll that will make even you blush right now.
All right.
I have a scroll that will literally flip the whole slate on its head right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying it's a good scroll.
Well, that was very much implied.
I'm just saying there's some outlier potential, Nez, that this scroll is insane.
Well, I think it's much, much better than outlier.
Okay. Isaiah Likely. Bet on talent. Bet on the Rams game environment. Bet on the rumors that Mark Andrews is going to get traded. Bet on the fact that he will be drafted 4% in this contest.
Okay.
Thoughts?
No, I mean, yeah, that's not as crazy as I was expecting. All right.
Not bad, huh?
Not bad, John. Not bad at all.
Very likely outcome that he will not matter at all. Michael Mayers, there you go. There you go.
Well, they took my Tondras away from me. So what am I going to do with this next one here?
I'm interested to see if anyone takes Kendrick Bourne. Did anyone take Kendrick Bourne yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one feels pretty good. If I still had a flex position left here, I mean, you don't. You have the tight end position. If I had a flex position left right now, wow, very interesting. Mac Jones to Kendrick Bourne goes, and you go Purdy in this draft as well. I would probably not stack then. I mean, not that you were going to now that Tungus is gone, but that's interesting.
I mean, that's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, it is.
All right. I was gonna do something crazy, but I'm gonna save this for up and on the clock. We're gonna go Barner instead, and
Okay.
and I'm gonna keep a close eye on this.
On this other player, TBD.
Mm-hmm.
Ty takes Lamar. That could break a dog bowl in the last round there. Nobody's taken CeeDee Lamb yet, which could break a dog bowl as well. Jennings there with third and Juwan, not there. Alec Pierce had a setback with his concussion. So J-Cam, I don't know if he's setting it up for a swap or if he's setting it up just because he didn't get Pittman there. I don't think Alec Pierce is going to play this week. I probably would have taken Josh Downs instead if you wanted to set up the skinny stack. But yeah, non-zero chance. Okay, he full practice today. Okay. I respect it. He still has to clear concussion protocol though. So practice reports don't matter as much for concussion-based guys. But yeah.
So Ty doesn't like my Purdy pick. Who you swapping to, brother? Whenever I get first dibs on Sam Darnold, who's going to be your swap? Because I mean, we're both shit out of luck. But who you swapping to, man?
The interesting dynamic of this is he's going to need the site to be very friendly to him. Okay, sorry. This is the Lamar swap. I was going to go the Mac Jones angle. Sorry. I was going to say the site has to be very friendly to you because Mac Jones is going to be active no matter what.
Yeah.
And they're the late window game. So there's going to be no swap options for Mac Jones if Purdy goes. So the Mac Jones pick, only one of them should go in every single draft right now.
They should. So like the situations are Purdy starts and I get Purdy and Stockton has a 0 at QB, or Purdy sits and I get first dibs at the swap. If you want to know about the swap mechanics, Sir Whoham's free course available to you on Underdog Masterclass. It's totally free. We break it down in absolute granular detail how these swaps work if you want to know how this is going down.
There is the swap masterclass there. Matt saying Brock ain't playing. There you go. So, I mean, either way, that means Mac Jones would be fine if that happens, or if Purdy will be the first swap option in our room here, unless anything crazy happened to the quarterbacks in front. But we're not anticipating that right now. All right. I added that one in the chat for everybody there. 2.5 hours of ball, even though I said we weren't going to go 2.5 hours so that I could watch the Mariners game, but I'm still going to get there in the 5th inning here. I hope Bryce Miller's still on the mound because I want to watch Bryce Miller throw fucking fastballs. Nez, my team there. Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Drake May, Alvin Kamara, one time. Please not be complete and utter dust. Please be not complete and utter washed. Score a touchdown for me, boy. And then Travion Henderson, play it before you see it. Isaiah Likely, play it before you see it. And hope that our guy, Lamar Jackson, plays football this week, although that looks quite thin right now. Nezzy, what you got?
Yeah, Devon Achane, Rashad White, Not Quinshawn, LOL. Quentin Johnston, Chris Olave, Brock Purdy, AJ Barner, Sam Darnold. Come on down.
Not bad. Not bad at all there. J Cam said he should have taken CD and then swapped to Pierce. Yes.
I gotta go, John.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right.
I gotta run.
You definitely should have done that. All right, guys. We are out and back tomorrow. Paywall tomorrow. Oh, that doesn't work when you do that. We'll go back over here. Paywall stream tomorrow there for the members only. Thursday night football. Yeah, we'll break it all down. 3-game primetime Palooza slate with some big time talent. Now we got an Amon Rock Hugh tag. Lots of fun stuff there. Our guy Sam Wilson is all in on Cam Schlittler later today. Nope, no puck today. No puck today. The show is over 2.5 hours, and your boy's going to go watch some baseball. I will be in the puck streets. I believe it's 5 games this evening there with McDust. There's also, it's a really good get the boys of Canada. I jacked up for some hockey slate this evening. We got 4 games of baseball this evening, and then we got some really cool matchups tonight for puck. We got, Leafs and Canadians, which is always a classic. Battle of Alberta. Flames and Oilers, always a classic. Kings on the back-to-back versus the Knights this evening. It's a really fun hockey slate. So go check that one out for the old wraparound Wednesday there. All right, guys. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. Back tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern for the members only.